Wolfie and GK, we've been here before. We cast them at the last LAN when it was a blowout favoring Blackhand. Then we cast them in the grand finals together where it was an opposite effect where the EUs were able to take that victory, now representing Arial Rise. And now we get to see them yet again here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great about it, and like you said, we have been here before, but there's been a bit of a team switch up, right? So that's another storyline to add to this. Drew changing hands to the Blackhand team, and Arial Rise picking up Peace Story. So it's going to be interesting how this goes ahead, and I'm so excited because this is a game we've been waiting for maybe 2 years, a 4v4 between the titans that are Blackhand and Arial Rise.
Well, and this one we're going to be starting out on demo, on Wanted, which we just saw in the last series, and that one was intense. I expect this one could be just as insane to watch. However, as they mentioned on the desk, okay, first, Sigrid's out. No surprises there, really. They don't like playing Sigrid, even, you know, in this situation, they know that Arial Rise has story, and they basically always do. The Ronin, that's an interesting one as well. What are you thinking here right now?
That is interesting. I think that would probably be because of Ink. He is so good at Ronin, and this map especially. But I'm surprised that the Arial Rise don't want that Ronin on defense themselves. Maybe they're afraid that Blackhand would have first picked it, so it could be a smart ban. And the Sigrid ban, that actually originated from Story. That's why Blackhand are banning it in the first place in this entire tournament. It's because of this team here, Arial Rise.
And they go with a classic double pick to start, right? They grab a Dahlia, they grab a Scorch. And so that's not at all unexpected. Scorch has been so powerful throughout. On the other side, who's another character we've seen a lot, they've elected to go on the side of Arial Rise with Glitch and Saint, a healer, and another very strong character. Both these, you know, it's not like we're playing Sabo, but they got gold bounce back.
Right, and I like how Arial Rise are making this Glitch a part of their new formation, right? It's not usual for them, it's not orthodox, but they're first picking it now. They have something else up their sleeve, and I really like that they're doing that.
Moving into the other side with their final picks, Fixer and Juke, both very, very good. I mean, these are some of the characters we've seen a lot throughout the weekend because they have been proven to be extremely effective, GK, in all of these maps, and both game modes, really. We have seen these two characters shine. This lineup for Blackhand is looking very strong, so Arial Rise are going to need to make something happen with these final two picks, and of course, Runway to start, that's a good one.
I have to agree, and I think Blackhand have got the rogues they wanted. There's been no effect from the Arial Rise. But the Anvil, now that is interesting because that allows them to plant on the other bomb site, and that's really the only rogue that you can do it with. Maybe Sigrid as well, but you can get Molotoved and such what. You don't have trophies. So I like how they have the Anvil, and I like how they have the Glitch. I think they're going to be playing to plant at the B bomb site, which is very, very unusual on this map.
Yeah, I think that, you know, as we, again, on the desk talked about the last series, you get to that point, you're going, why do they keep hitting this one bomb site? Well, it's because it's very difficult to hit the other, and so in this situation, now it's, you have to think about this. You can't just stack a site. We can come over and take Street and get that bomb down. So it's going to open things up, but if it doesn't work, you're going to come back to this and you're going to go, the Anvil wasn't the right pick.
Right, but I mean, I respect the fact that they're trying something, right? And Blackhand wouldn't have expected it, but we are into this game, Heartbreaker. It is map 1 of the winners finals right now. Arial Rise and Blackhand are going at it, and we've been waiting for so long for it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just, we're hoping for a better game than the last time they met in a winners bracket final for sure. We definitely don't want that 3-0 blowout, but some team definitely wants it for themselves, and we're getting right into the action. The bomb is going down here. Delana on that Scorch, planting right away. They did not waste any time. The smoke hit the back, and now it is all down to this 4v4 retake. All the players for Arial Rise sitting on the site and just waiting for that opening.
Right, and Delana absolutely melting them right now, causing them to actually get a knock as well on the Saint. That's the worst person that can go down in this situation in the retake, and now they will have to hand res both maybe, but the defuse was almost there from the Anvil. We didn't talk about that defuse from the shield. That could have been amazing from him.
Tries to get that reload, not going to happen in time, and a good double peek is going to see that plant and, of course, that hold from Blackhand coming through to go up 1-0 here in this first map.
Heartbreaker, that was an incredibly fast round for the winners finals. Blackhand clearly had a plan there that not to waste any time. If we just charge in at the same time as them and they want to 50-50 it, we can. If they give us the bomb site, we're going straight away. The Fixer ult came out, the Scorch went to plant it, and it was free. And after which, Delana then gets a knock and stops them from defusing and going for that defuse quickly. Perfect round for Blackhand to start this competition.
And I want to touch on that Juke knockback. So not only you put that shield down and you want to try to go for a defuse, they don't have to fight you. They can run right up to the shield, repulse you back, and then just reset everything. We're going to see that coming in, but it's Slop with the opening pick right out of spawn, GK, taking down Drew.
And that's funny because Drew and Slop have been going at it all weekend, and Slop actually challenged him to the sniper battle this map, and Drew said, I'll take it, and it didn't start so well there for that round, this round, but they are doing okay so far.
Yeah, and I mean, again, with that opening pick, it's so early. You can't make a play off of it. The player gets right back in, but it's a little economy.
Yep.
Add a little bit of cash to your bank, and you're getting warmed up with that sniper. You're feeling like I can hit, but once again, that hit is coming in here towards that A bomb site, trying to find something here. Drew's looking around. He's on the fixer, just seeing what he can find, and RCCS, well, they're not giving him anything.
Right, and I think that was a little bait. They're trying to see if anyone's going to run through that smoke and try and stop that defuse. And that's why Delena didn't actually go for the plant there, because it was a bait to try and see if they can get a kill before doing so. They can't do the same thing twice in a row, and Blackhand do know that.
We can see that it's just Prosper there, watching over the B bomb site, just trying to see if he can catch anybody rotating, because they've gone silent on the map up until this point. We see Delena pushing in as the Scorch, trying to get the bomb plant. We're going to see this very similar play. They're trying to find out if they can shoot these toes, pop a couple shots as they go to get that bomb down, and it's not happening. Story from behind, trying to find it. Will be able to land those shots, does a lot of damage, able to take down Delena, but not before the bomb goes down.
And Delena does get out with that Dahlia res as well. Now that's another perfect plant for Blackhand. But don't put RCCS out of the question here. They can get the defuse down if their anvil doesn't go down instantly. The Saint drone has to come off here, or they have no chance. It does come off, and then they get it down from P-Store as well. So he's got the down, he's got the shield down, and he's on the bomb right now. Will he get this defuse?
It's looking likely at this point. He is standing off, and I mean, the kills are going both directions. They're pushing in, trying to make this happen, and it doesn't look like they're actually able to stick that because he dropped in from the other side, and it's all here down to Ink to make something happen. He's good for one. It's all down to this 1v1. Slop versus Ink. He gets knocked into the air, lands a couple shots, but it's going to be Ink who comes out on top and secures the second round for Blackhand. But wow, the way that that unfolded after the attempt at a defuse was wild.
Right, I really thought they were going to get that, but the Molotov came out, and it stopped the anvil from getting that defuse. And after which, Drew went crazy. He gets 2 knocks, gets traded out himself, and then the last fight, you can't do anything if you're an anvil in that situation. You're literally flying mid-air from that repulse gun, and as we can see here, it was over before it begun. So that would have been a cool 1v1 to see if it wasn't util-based, but ultimately Ink has it in his hand. It was too free to plant. They didn't need it to plant.
And that is quick thinking, and that's what separates a good juke player from a great juke player right there. His just thought process of using his utility to perfection, hitting that repulse to get that advantage. But on the flip side, if you would have thrown Slop into the air and he hit a sniper shot on you, that would have been a clip for the ages. Not how it unfolds, and we're here in round number 3 with a 2-0 lead for Blackhand, and this time they're not slowing down. It's pushing right around the back of the site, landing a double tap to the body, trying to hit Story as well. He puts his shield down, but there's no way he gets out of this alive. Able to take down another, and they have full site control.
They have the strats for this map. This is something that was clearly unexpected for RCCS, and 2 of them drop instantly. Slop on 1 HP and Prosper as well. This is a duo that seems to always be alive in this situation, the 2v4, but they will both get taken out at the same time. 3-0. RCCS are getting destroyed right now.
Yeah, it's not a good look for them on this first map of Wanted. I also got a little nervous there because I saw the trip mine down on the ground just in the doorway, and I was thinking, does Drew see it though? Are his teammates about to swing? Did he make that calm? Because that could have been a double off of that. They were all near that doorway, and all of a sudden there's an opening, but that's not how things pan out. We do see that Blackhand gain another round in a very convincing fashion. That wasn't down to a 1v1 like round 2. That was straight domination.
That was like a training course, actually. You know, when there's like robots sitting there, and you get to shoot them as you go through the course, because actually they had no competition there. Everything they wanted to happen happened in their favor. So another great round, and I think if Blackhand get this round, the game might just be over.
But take a look here at the map. What we saw with the nameplates is RCCS is doing something very, very different, and so far it was working. Slop with a pick there onto Ink, but it's going to be Delena who chimes in return, taking down Story, and he is still in the back of the site. He hasn't been able to get back up, and now they're jumping in from above, trying to take down these players. This is a wild battle. EMS, though, able to get another, but the res is coming in off of this 2 versus 2. They get him back up, and another drop happens.
MS is so good with that weapon, the LMP, and actually they win this round. Unbelievable. They bait out Story on the bomb site, and it looks like a usual thing, right? But in actualness, 3 of his teammates are flanking round, and successfully. So really well done, and MS especially, he managed to get a perfect kill there. So we're going to go listen in with Blackhand and see what they think about that last round.
Did you not hear us screaming?
I know.
For like,
Why can't we just push
turned
forward?
around.
I wanted to push forward, but they said behind
I
us.
went to help Ink. I thought it was one guy on Ink. The guy
Yeah, I thought it was just him. I was just gonna kill him.
Right,
that was
watch
cute,
watch
that
for
was
the
cute.
aggro again.
Maybe get ready to res me here.
Okay, sounds good.
I can't shoot him, but he can shoot me. I love this angle.
He's still there.
Prosper's in the back, and Emez was made.
Top is in the back too. Took his armor off basically.
I think we should kind of fix real quick to see where the glitch is in case he's not flanking.
All right, I'm droning left side right now.
You should just fix roll something, either the left or the
C4.
right.
They got AP. They got AP. They're drone. So I don't know if somebody's there or not.
True, I think you should ult.
Emez in our spawn.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where at exactly? Can we
Like
kill
he's
him?
going to our door. Our door.
What door?
They know
Ping
that
it.
we know, bro. They know that we know.
Ping it, ping it,
Right
ping
here
it.
in front of me. This
Knocked
door.
in the back.
We should just go for it then. He's gonna be right here. Yeah. One. Switch it.
He's one, man.
Like.
Are you dead?
There's that.
Killed one. Killed the res. They're rezzing. There's another one. Like, how do we die killing the flank?
I don't know.
You just beat me.
Like, what the fuck just happened?
They double died in like a 2v1.
There's a lot to unpack in that round. So the first thing I want to say is, again, their comms at first seemed so good. They're calling out specifically, I took down armor. They've used a C4. They have a trophy in the back. Fantastic. However, the flank, that spacing was not good. The fact that they basically just fed 2 1v1s to Emes, he's going to make the most of it. You're not giving Emes a situation like that where he's not going to come out on top, and he crushes those first 2 players, not even having to worry about fighting 2 at once.
I'm surprised that Delena knew he was flanking and just ran out in the open like that. He actually hit him for 3 damage, and then Ink had a clean 1v1. So MS did it all, but Blackhand really fell off there. That was not a way to counter the flank, especially when you've seen it happening. So unlucky for them, but great for Arial, and they needed that confidence boost.
Oh, yeah, getting that second round because, you get the 1 and then, it's still kind of iffy for you. It's not going too heavy in your favor, but now you have 2 as you're sitting here. You're feeling that you're back into the game. Emes is getting fired up. He wins those 2 1v1s. You've got that mentality coming out now, and finally it's going to be Drew who wins that sniper battle, taking down Slop. But, of course, the res comes in, and we're back to that 4 versus 4.
But that is a good snipe because the Saint Drone is used here, and MS will get knocked. I knew that as soon as I saw it, and the Saint Drone's already used, and that's what Drew has done with that snipe against Slop. So the bomb will easily go down here. Someone has to go Hi-Rez, and now it's going to be a classical retake situation.
And I love that. The knowledge that they're going to have to go Hi-Rez that. That means they will have 2 players who can't defend the site, and they hit. That is playing it perfectly, and they managed to get that bomb down, as you stated, and they're to the 4v4 retake again. They are able to do this so well. They've been able to get these bombs down and not allow that defuse, and they're not going to have it happen again. Story keeps running, trying to get that shield, and he's punished each and every time the trades do come in, and we're down to a 2 versus 3.
And that's the Dahlia Scorch going down, Heartbreaker, and it's going to be over. As soon as that happens, the Dahlia and the Scorch, the 2 powerful rogues in the composition, you are going to lose that that retake situation. So, but it was interesting, right? Because Delena jumped out the window and took out the anvils. Cool. That's a great trade, but losing other teammates along the way just made that impossible, because if you take the anvil out, how are they meant to defuse? You just have to stay alive, right? They then have to attack you and push you out before they get on the bomb. So they almost had it, but Arial ultimately clutching up.
And that right there is exactly what that half, a 3-3 half for Arial coming into this, knowing that Blackhand has been looking dominant, you've been looking a little shaky. This has to actually feel good if you're Arial. You have to actually be like, hey, we're in this. This is a legitimate game, because we talked about it. Those first 3 rounds, they weren't in this at all, right? And then they chimed back and they took 3 of their own, and now, GK, we have a match right here.
And this is what we've been talking about. Arial are learning as they go on. They literally went 3-0 in the space of 2 minutes, right? Those rounds are really, really quick. But as we can see here, they've actually made a comeback, and now they have the anvil for the attack. So that is so important. They've done the glitch hack. The shield has gone down. As we can hear, Story is planting that bomb for free, and that is why they picked the anvil.
Yeah, but now they have to be able to hold it in this fixture, deciding to wrap around. That's going to be Drew. Pops that swing spot. The players going to be able to make the call, but they can't shoot him from the other side. The shield is still there. So Drew should be safe, or rather, Story, unless, of course, they push around with them all the time, and that's exactly what they do. The trades come in, and it's going to bring it down to this 3 versus 3, and I don't see any reses happening quite yet, but there it is. The anvil. Oh, no, they do get it on the other side, though.
Yep, Delena goes down, but Delena gets up, but Drew goes down. So it is a 3v3, and it is a fair retake right here. But only 15 seconds left on the clock. Slop goes down, 2v2. Someone's going down on each side of the map here. It's so equal right now. MS getting a life barely.
Yeah, escaping with just a little bit of HP, but that's all they need to do. You can see the bomb is ticking. It is getting closer and closer, over 3/4 of the way done. You see Delana needs to get in there, try to make it happen, and Emas, well, he's not letting it. 4-3. Arial Rise, who went down 3-0 to start, have bounced back, and it is now 4-3 in their favor.
And I'm loving how Arial Rise are looking right now. As we can see on the screen, they're feeling it. They're feeling each other. They didn't go down 3-0 and think, we're out, let's just go to the next map. No, they learned from those rounds, and they've done so well. The Anvil pick is so good, Heartbreaker. It means they can do this on attack, where I thought this was a defense-sided map.
Well, so it worked that round. Those are pistols. Maybe you're a little lighter on utility. What I want to see now is, can that same Anvil play work on the flip side? Yes, you have the glitch, so they're not going to be able to immediately stop it. You may get that bomb down, but it may be a little more difficult as we get into more utility and more heavy weaponry. So that's where I'm really going to see, was it the right choice? Because we didn't see it being the right choice really in the other half, right? It didn't come to really have much impact. They kept taking him down, and now we get to see how it works on the other side. And this time, it is a much slower approach.
I have to agree with what you said there, and I think the only way they can really get this retake is if Drew, the fixer, puts that smoke in front of the bomb site and causes the whole enemy team to push back, allowing his team to move forward, and that's the only way you can get that defuse off on the B-bomb site. You need complete control, but this round, specifically, much slower. You can see the Anvil story figuring it out at A-bomb site, but it looks like they might be going for a rotation.
Yeah, they're falling back. I mean, I think at this point, Slop may have been making some calls from the upper part of the map there, just looking over, making sure they're not getting flanked, which, of course, in a map like this, you always have to keep your eyes out for, because you tend to get really focused if you're over towards the library. You're just making sure that nobody's coming close. Slop deciding to watch for that flank a little bit further back than, of course, they had done on the flip side with Blackhand. They were playing it where they were just watching it from further up, but it looks like that hit is finally coming in. At least a little bit of utility being used as Arial Rise try to push towards this B-bomb site. And they've gotten close. That shield needs to go down, and it does. And now it looks like they want to make it. Oh, he's pushing in. They do manage to take a player down, though. That's going to be Story who gets dropped, and the bomb didn't go down.
It didn't, and Ink does go down to Slop as well, so it is a trade, but that res is probably going to be easy and happening right now. It was a hand res, so 4v3, they need to protect this Anvil when he goes for it. Yep. Oh, 10 seconds left on the clock. Good point, Heartbreaker. This round's looking like it's probably over, unless someone can get behind that shield. MS does go for it, but it will break by the time he did run out of bullets. Oh my goodness, that was close for him to get out alive. The bomb does go down, and it's all up to Slopodopoulos.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tough one. I'm not sure it's going to be possible. He's capable of amazing things. He's able to get one, but, I mean, he gets a second, but immediately a trade. But a valiant effort. Able to drop down 2 right there. But those are the things we expect of Slop. That's not the first time we've seen something like that, where he's able to grab 2, but not able to close it out. What I want to mention here is when that shield went down and they all started to spray it, they could actually see his head just over the top, and it seems like they realized it right after the plant went down. And then, of course, they were like, wait a second, and they take him out. They remove him. They might have been able to stop that plant, not the way it pans out, but I think Arial Rise can't do in these rounds where they're waiting to these last seconds, because at that point, you're just putting so much pressure on yourself.
Right, and I think they probably need to spread out the defense onto the A-bomb site. It's now getting a bit obvious, like you said. They pretended to go A, and really they just went back to B again, and they tried the exact same position of plant. It's just not going to work out, and also that glitch hack, that needs to come out right as he's going for the shield, because as we saw, the fixer smoked it off and it all just got a bit complicated. Vision was impaired. So glitch hack, shield is the way forward for Arial Rise. Blackhand, on the other hand, they're keeping it equal. They do have the defense here, so it's up to them to keep the bomb from going down.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you're giving up that plan, at that point, you know, that's kind of the gimmick that they've used it. They've gotten the shield down. They did their glitch hack. Now what can they do to stop us? And so it's going to be hard to counter, or rather hold that from being retook. I mean, that's just the way it is. And we can see there is somebody ratting over on that left side of the site. And they're moving around the map right now, but are they going to expect Elena to be here? I'm not sure.
I don't think so, and this is slightly different position from that head glitch just above him, so they might check it and they won't see Delana where it is, and this is probably the spot that they were talking about before. They said they had found some hidden spots on a few different maps. They've been in the lab, and that is one of them, I believe.
We're about to find out if that's exactly what's about to happen here. Now, due to the glitch, so that Molly does end up coming out. I think he's thrown it at this point, and if he hasn't, he's doing it now. Yep, there it is. Fire going in. They're able to take down Slop, but they haven't gotten Story there from the site.
He is still on the site. I wonder why he's not going for this plant. He's probably a bit afraid that he will get swung, and he's looking for some help from Prosper as that happens. And Prosper will shoot over it, but it's just not quite enough. And Story will go down. Will this EMP come out? No, it does get trophied, so Story does get back up and then goes back down again straight away. So he
yeah, I
doesn't.
mean, you're in a tough spot at that point. You're just getting up to go back down. I'm not sure that res is worth it. I mean, you're really on a prayer, but this brings down to 2 versus 2. How quickly it has changed all onto the dollar, but they're going to be able to get this res, but the res is coming out on the other side as well. They're able to drop him back. It's all onto this 3 versus 1. How quickly it is those reses. Oh my goodness, GK, they come in so clutch.
That was incredible. We literally saw a Saint drone res in front of a Dahlia res, and he got up with 65 health, so it was so close. If only Prosper was just a little bit closer to him, maybe jumping on the window and shooting them in the back. That was almost a Saint Dahlia 1v1, though. It's not usual that we see that.
No, if those players would have been finished, that would have been a fight to watch right there. I would have loved to have seen that. But with a couple players crawling around on the map, you got some resers alive. People are coming back into the action. But ultimately, it will be Blackhand who go up 5-4. And they're looking pretty well-rounded across the board in terms of who's performing and what they're doing.
Right, and I do think the only way that Arial now get this round is if they don't go for the plant. They're similar to that round that Blackhand did, where they faked it and they just flew through the bomb site, because not everyone on the enemy team is going to be there. Take that 3v2, take that 4v2, and don't just go for the bomb, because ultimately Story needs to shoot his gun. Yeah,
Delaney's in that same spot, though, and I'm not sure if they're checking it this time. It looked like they were kind of considering, like, this guy could be there again, but he's not dropping, and Gronky's just there for the support. But I agree with you, but it looks like they're not listening to us, GK. They're on the site, they're going for the plant, they get taken out by a Molotov again, probably going to get res. They know, or do they know, Delaney's still in that corner. It looks like they do. Throws a C4, does a little bit of team damage, but they end up with that knock.
Does the glitch get back up? It does. Prosper rolls onto site, and that's perfect. Delena needed to be punished for playing the exact same spot again. A 4v2, the bomb's going down, so they have done kind of what we said. They lost a life instantly, got back up, and then traded the kills they needed to before they go for that bomb plant, and now they're going to get these kills before they go for the bomb plant for the economy.
Yeah, and I mean, so even right there, it looked like in the end he was going to go for the plant, and they said, no, let's fight this. We have the numbers. Do not just go for the plant and take one away. Let's just take it. They end up fighting Ink in the back of the site together instead of going for that bomb plant right away. And I agree with you, and I wanted to touch on that. A lot of the time you see that they're kind of getting stuck in this mode of, hey, we push in, this is what you do. You go in, you ambush shield, you plant the bomb. You go in, that's not working. So you need to eventually say, you know what, let's not do that. It's easily being read. They're positioning themselves for it. But that means if they're standing there with a Molotov in their hand, what if we just ran past and fought them? And that's what we need to see some more of. But in that round, ultimately the plan works out, and we do get it tied up yet again. We've seen 3-3, we've seen 4-4, and now we've seen 5-5. This is the type of match that we want out of these two teams, and they are delivering. But who is hitting match point first?
Right, and I think I really did expect this. These guys know each other inside out, and although Arial have not had the most practice, they know this other team so well. So that's why maybe they've looked a bit less confident against other teams. But this team in particular, they know each other so well. But here we are, going to the B bomb site, and the glitch does get the kill on Ink. Now this is massive. Gronky is not far away, however.
Oh, yeah, but there's no way he's getting in there to get that res. That player is out for the count. I like the attempt. He repulsed the closer player, but the player behind takes him, and that's another drop. That's going to be Slop taking down Gronky and Drew on the cross. Gronky then trying to get rid of make that res, gets dropped with the eyes looking at him from Slop's scope, and that is going to be a round that definitely looks like it's going to go in the favor of Arial Arise. They should be hitting this match point right now.
King Slopodopoulos not getting one, but getting two. Drew and Gronky, two key players in stopping that bomb plant and getting that retake. Unbelievable from him. And now suddenly they are 6-5 up from being 0-3 down. This is it right here. One more round and they take the first map.
Oh, and that is, I'm going to be honest, that is not what I expected coming into this one. And I want to touch on just, I mean, you think about, you see it, oh, he got that second kill, but think about, they were on two different levels. So that means he pops a shot on the guy, lower left corner, flicks up and hits the res, crossing over. Just the knowledge, the game sense to know, okay, he's going to be crossing over. I'm certain he saw them up top. I'm going to get him as well. Does it, and now he pops himself right back up here to take another chance at anybody who wants to give him that chance.
Right, and I don't think Ink's going to be playing up quite as far as he did last round. He really got caught slipping. But again, they do go to the B bomb site, but something in my head is saying they're actually not going to go for this plant here because I don't know, it's going to be hard. If they do, they need to get that knock, or they need to make sure util is wasted because the Molotov surely is a single upgraded by now, and the radius must be too big for that bomb plant to go down.
And we can see they've made the way around the smoke because they know Story's probably about to pop out onto this corner, and that is well played, but comes out with that EMP. They do get the shield down, and they will get that plant. I was just thinking, well, they have three people here to defend it this time. Does not matter. The Molotov comes out, and they still can't get it. And Slav looking for the opportunity, and he's going to capitalize on it. Drew keeps trying to get these shots. He's not landing them, but smart play there because they will get this res. It's an opportunity to take him down. Nobody's back there to res him, but they'll be able to send a Saint even if you take him down.
That was close there. Slopodopoulos feeling himself standing on that box. And like you said, he already wasted 5 to 10 seconds from that because of that hand res. And now Drew has popped his smoke and probably his ultimate. We'll have to see if he can do it and push Story out. He's in such a good position here, like a tank with that shotgun.
Oh, he gets repulsed off the corner, and that's going to be Gronky coming over the support slot. Takes down Drew yet again, though, and that's going to bring it in to a 1 versus 3. The attackers all taken out. The res just come through for Slop, and he can come up big because he is in the distance. He takes down Gronky. This is an opportunity. He lands the body shot. He gets the face. He hits the shot. He has to get the reload, and he hits a body first, and that is going to be it. Slop with one of the biggest clutches in this tournament.
I've been calling him King Slopodopoulos, and that is for a reason. Prosper Logic and Slopodopoulos, what a great duo. He wastes enough time, he has his Saint drone, he gets Slopodopoulos up, he gets the first kill. Ink thinks he can fly up on him, get that close range kill. No, bop, another headshot, and then he gets that body shot, and then trolls a little bit, waits a little time, and goes pang, pang, boom. No defuse for you. That is map 1 to Arial Rise.
Oh my goodness, and we kept saying that if they wanted to win this, they needed to see some star power, and well, if you want it, Slop just gave it to you. We kept saying, he's taking down Drew again. He's taking down Drew again. He kept getting himself into these 1 versus 4s. We saw him at, I think, 2 or 3 1 versus 4s, and he'd get 1, he'd get 2, but he couldn't close it out. Well, when it came down to it, when it was all about ending that game, oh, he closed it out. He closed it out in fashion. When Ink jumped up, the way that he landed that shot, oh, at that point you knew it's over. He has this without a doubt.
When we saw that 160 on the board, we looked at each other like, it actually happened, because we've been talking about that one player that could, potentially get that 1v3 or 1v4. It actually happened in that crucial round, and we are not lying, people. We've seen it before, and now you have seen it too. I'm just so excited, Heartbreaker. I'm lost for words.
I mean, if you want to start this one off with a bang, and you want Arial Arise to show that they have the ability to take Blackhand on, that's what we just witnessed. Because, again, coming into it, we talked about it a lot on the desk as casters. Blackhand has looked strong. They've looked insane throughout this. Arial Rise has fallen off, kind of shown up, gone back to not looking so hot on certain maps. That map, they went down 3-0, and then they bounced back. They took it all the way, and we saw some heroic plays, which we're getting to witness right here in these replays.
I think this is that, yep, and you're so right. I just can't stop thinking about that Anvil pick. It was so crucial, and getting those 3 rounds on the defense with the Anvil pick made it all happen. This kill was really huge here on that 5-5 round, getting Ink down, and Story here also wasting enough time on this final round. Prosper living, and that's the first Saint drone we see come off. So in that 10 seconds, the next Saint drone comes off as well.
Look at it, GK. Look at it. Oh, this replay. I'm so excited to see it again. Almost want to cast it again. How well played. All the pressure was on his shoulders, and he had no problem with it, and that is what Kings do.
It is indeed. And what is going to happen now? Because everyone was talking about that first map losing and going into the grand finals 2 down, but actually this is looking like that might be the reverse way round, because Blackhand has already 1 down and they've been practicing more, scrimming more, but Arial Rise have just been learning on the fly. These last 2 days have been them getting together, getting their thoughts together, understanding what roles to play, and suddenly we're seeing Story on Anvil, where we would never thought it before. We're seeing MS on Glitch, where we would never thought it before. And now we go to Breach, which I'm really excited about.
Well, and I want to say we are living a little on that hype. We do need to bring it back and say, that's map 1. This is a long series. It's a best of 5. Yes, it was amazing. Yes, they've shown that they can compete, but this is far from over. This could very well go all 5 maps. I think we both know that. So that was amazing. Now we move into Breach. You're excited for this one, but why?
I'm excited for it because Breach is one of those maps where both bomb sites are viable, right? And the composition that you choose really affects what you do. The fixer is really huge here because on the B bomb site, you can block off a lane and just cover over with the other lane with the sniper and looking through the smoke. So actually, there's no way of stopping that bomb plant. And also the U2 on this map. I believe we're going to see a Dima.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's a really solid call. Dima on this map can do a lot with his utility. It just seems like almost every time you use it, it's effective. But what we're not going to see in this one is Res.
Wow, Arial Rise are pulling out another strat of theirs, the Res ban. They had to ban the Saint so that they had to ban the Dahlia, right? Because you don't want Prosper to have the only Res in the game, especially the Dahlia. And now the picks are going to be interesting because they're all going to pick Power Rogues in order to survive through the warfare that's going to happen, because they cannot get revived from a Saint drone or a Dahlia res at this point. The Scorch is the first pick of the game.
And that has been pretty consistent. But And of course, that opens up. We're used to seeing Dahlia score or something like that. Well, there's no Dahlia, so who do you grab then? They go with a glitch. And I mean, glitch showed up last time. That was a big factor. We talked about the Anvil shield, but that works so well partially because of that glitch. So these are some great picks, but what it does is leave Sigrid in play. And Sigrid and Fixer, well, those are two great picks as well.
I do agree, but at this point, if it was just this, they would have lost the draft because they're completely countered. There's EMP
and glitch.
And the glitch hack. So they picked an EMP character and a glitch hack character, and Blackhand in response picked two characters that get completely countered.
To be fair, though, GK, you can't leave Sigrid and Fixer in as well, right? Yeah. you can't leave them for them. So, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, let's kind of just bank on this.
Right, and I think if Arial Rise, I don't think they will go for the Dima here. It's not normally that, the Ronin. If they had gone for the Dima, there would be no more EMPs.
So many EMPs.
It would have been crazy. But like you said, that's actually a valid point. Why give Slop the Fixer as well on top of these powerful rogues and there's no res? There's too much wild stuff going on, and they've gone with super powerful picks and not allowing Story to get the Sigrid, not allowing Slop to get the Fixer. But what I'm afraid of is when you just play to counter the other team, you lose your drive, you lose the ambition of what you're trying to do, and when those rounds start getting lost, you don't know what the plan was because you picked other rogues that you wouldn't have usually. But here comes Adema, and the final pick, I'm not entirely sure what they'll go for.
They're going with a runway. They're going to pull out the double sniper, actually, going Fixer and runway. And I just want to touch on this. Since we've added the picks and bans, it has really made some of these games more exciting because there is that bit of mental maneuvering, right? Just, if we pick these, now we have to make them kind of guess, should we pick our rogues or do we let them have the other? I really enjoy this update from Hi-Rez and the Rogue Company team and how they've been able to add a little more depth to what we're seeing. They're not mirror picks anymore. It is, okay, we're grabbing these rogues. Now what are you going to get? And it's led to some spicy matchups.
I actually agree with you. Initially with the whole draft pick and not allowing to do mirror picks, we weren't really sure. But this is what we've got. We've got 8 individual rogues, and every rogue is now being highlighted from that format. So I really agree with you, Heartbreaker. And I'm so excited going to this 0-0 of the second map of this series.
Yeah, Arial Rise up 1-0 for anybody just now tuning in. The EU squad with Story, we're able to take Wanted in that opening map. And now it is them who are trying to reach that 2-0 where Blackhand want to tie things up. They want to get back into this with a dub. And we are here in round number 1, and they're heading over towards B, but that bomb has already been dropped.
Right, Delana taking out MS, the previous MVP competition right there, the last land. That's got to hurt, right? And that's a great pick from Delana because that has to be hand res, and it does come off now, and he's going to take a good 5 seconds to regen his health. So it's a great pick overall. Wow, they're going to go for the push. MS is still stuck alone, and everyone is leaving him behind at this point. Ink gets the kill on MS, and he's going to be out the game.
Yeah, they think this is rotation, though. You can see they've head back over. Drew's already going back to defend the other bomb site, playing behind the stairs. That is a very sneaky position, but they haven't left. They're still posted up, looking for that opportunity, and with 47 seconds now on the clock, they're going to need to find an opportunity relatively soon.
Right, and this cross here is super dangerous, especially if Blackhand were in the right positions. And there's Ink, he is. They do smoke off the blue lane, so that is great. And do they go from mid to B here? That would be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, there's cover on all sides, though. They push up middle. Somebody's on the doorway. Somebody's on the right. The smoke is faded now. They're coming in from behind. Arial Rise, however, able to drop down Delana and finish that kill. So now it's a 3 versus 3, 20 seconds, and they should be able to get into the site for free, although it is going to be Story who falls on the rotation.
Right, and that is Ink getting that kill. Now Gronky is hiding in the enemy lines, and he's probably going to cause a lot of disruption here. Drew also with the shield up, and this round is going to be unbelievably impossible, but he gets one, he gets 2. We are in a 1v1 situation. Ink versus Prosper, and there it is again!
Oh my, that clutch, the fact that he managed to get over that wall, take them down, and then of course Drew distracted with that shield up in the wrong direction. Prosper puts him down and wins that 1 versus 1. What are we witnessing with the players stepping up when there is pressure there and just absolutely crushing it?
Everyone at home, you've got to forgive me for losing faith there. I saw a Sigrid shield come up and I saw a Gronky in the enemy lines, but I forgot it was a Prosper with a pistol. He's been using pistol for 5 rounds for about 7 months straight, so he's really good with it, right? He buys his lifeline, he buys all that. So that round was easy for him. It looked like it. He got 1, he got 2, and then he gets that 3rd one. Unbelievable round.
Great way to start this one off, right? You take the last one, you come into the second map on Breach. It looks shaky, let's be honest. That did not look in their favor. They were swinging left and right in terms of which site they wanted to go to. They're getting down a player on the rotation. Gronky's on the flank. You're thinking, oh, this is a wrap. They have them pinned in, but Prosper says, no, give me a chance, and I'm going to take it. And that's exactly what he does. And now 1-0, and we have Prosper making some plays here on this glitch.
He is looking like he's performing a flank here as his teammates are making a huge distraction on B. MS is revealed. He does get knocked here. Slop is hit as well, so it's not going great for them. Prosper does need to make this happen right here and now.
Oh, but does he go for the wall? He didn't spot the player over on his right. Certainly, he's going to hear a step if that player moves at any moment. Ink drops EMS. When is Prosper going to make this move? When is he going to make this play? We're not getting to see, and it looks like they're making the rotation because he's taking spawn control. He should be able to catch Delana here. It's going to happen right now. If it's going to, no, he actually lets him through. He's just making the call, but he might only say that Delane is there. He hasn't called that Drew is potentially, and Delane is going to take down Slot. Prosper, though, is there for the trade with that Simtex.
It's unfortunate because he tried to wait long enough, but his teammates tried to force it as there was only 8 seconds left on the clock. So that was a really cool play because he got into the enemy lines and his teammates said, why don't we just rotate and if you get a couple picks as well on the way. But what they didn't calculate was the time left on the clock, and they had to force their push and ultimately got killed from Drew, who's been hiding behind that stairs for about a minute and a half straight. So he was bloody ready for it.
And another thing to notice in that one, outside of just absolutely how dominant Prosper is there on the scoreboard, is that also just gave away that play. You made it through there that one time, Prosper. You got to their spawn, but you gave it away. Now they're going to be looking for it, and it didn't end up getting you anywhere, right? So you don't get a round off of it. You go, okay, that was worth. Now I don't need to do it again. It's, okay, we made that play. We got through enemy lines, but it didn't come to fruition, and now here we are tied up 1-1. Blackhand bouncing back from a big clutch out of Prosper with a good win of their own.
It's crazy because it feels like we've already had a whole game after those 2 rounds, doesn't it? But we're only 1-1, and I don't know who's going to take it at this point. They're so evenly matched. Slop does get Delana, though, with an amazing kill, aggressive kill. Do they manage to get a second here? B-Story almost gets that with the impact nade, and actually they're going to trade that out, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, but they're trying to get this res right there, and I was going to get back over the wall because the fixer ult coming in from Ink. He's got that Mamba out as well. Somebody who could definitely hit those shots. Have been playing very well throughout this tournament. They're going to definitely need him on Blackhand. But it's that flank coming in from Slop, who jumps over the wall, wraps back around, picks up multiple kills. There was Prosper coming in, and they are cleaning this one up down to a 2 versus 1. It is Drew, the former teammate of Prosper, who needs to try to come up big in this one, and they managed to get the bomb, and now they are getting out of dodge, heading over to that A-bomb site.
The Paladin boys have taken over Rogue Company. Look at these two. They're a force to be reckoned with. They just constantly team shoot and make 2v4s into 2v1s.
Did you see, though, the utility is still all there for Slop? It's coming back, as you can see here, for Prosper, but Slop, he's got the dagger, he's got the nades, not worried at all. And Drew, he's got nothing, not even a chance, as he gets taken down from the side. 2-1. Oh, big round out of Arial Arise.
Drew getting caught doing the duck walk there, I like to call it, just trying to prod around and see if he can get around silently, but that's not going to happen. And that's a really interesting point you mentioned there. Slop with the 2-piece, with only his gun. He could have easily Ronin knife, but no, he trusts the gunny that he has, and he ultimately opened up so much for that round for his team, and Prosper is so good at being a great teammate. So when he has the utility of a glitch and the movement and the perks, it's looking like fire right now. He's on 8 downs, more than... You can't even add his teammates' downs up because only one other has kills.
I don't want to touch on this while I have a chance. Last night, Prosper was telling me that a problem they were having on the team is he was playing res, and he would say, hey, can we do this? Can we make this play happen? And people just weren't moving. So that's why in the last game yesterday, he said, I'm going to take a character that can do something. I'm going glitch, even though I'm not like a flanker or anything like that. Well, he's showing that he can certainly do it. He's capable of this, and that's why they've made these changes, and they seem to be working out for them thus far. And we are going to see Arial Rise. Well, they've already made it to the site, but Slop trying to get the bomb down. He's going to get naded out, but Story's there for a trade.
Oh, he almost gets the repulse on it as well, just to try and get that finish, but Drew will bring the shield and stop that happening, and Story does go down. There's 2v2 though. The Demon doesn't get up, the runway doesn't get up, and actually, Arial Arise potentially could get some reses here. One goes down, and here it is. Story still resable. It's actually unbelievable. The 2v2 though is going to push, and Ink and Drew are not going to let that happen. The stick comes off from Prosper, and Ink will fall as well. 3-1. Nobody has expected this.
Oh, and just the looks on the faces of Blackhand. You know, we talked about it before. Drew, when he's smiling, when he's having a good time, that's when Drew is dangerous. Right now, I don't want to say he's getting unlucky. These are very well-played rounds from Arial Rise, but I mean, you run into a stick, you're looking in the wrong direction, you get shot in the side. It's just not very good right here, but this play from Prosper in middle, yet again, they don't seem to be ready for a glitch anytime. Like, he just seems to always be in a great position to deal some damage.
It seems to be Prosper with padded steps is unbelievable. I didn't realize he'd gone through middle, gotten 2 kills, hopped the wall and gets a stick. He won that round for his team single-handedly, and all they had to do was stay alive, basically. Unbelievable from Prosper. I'm loving seeing him off of Dahlia.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, this 2v2 could play out. It could be a lengthy one. This could be fun. They land that stick, and it's a wrap because the other player rolled in the other direction, and he ends up behind the low box. Exactly, and at that point, just difficult. And now we're right back into it. The bomb is over here towards B, but they've got 2 players floating around other areas of the map right now for Arial Rise.
Right, and what's interesting is because they've been so dominant, Blackhand have to do a split because in case they go to BA, they have to be ready for it. But Drew will get the shield up and he does throw the Semtex, but the EMP will come out and the Ronin knife will ultimately finish him, plus the Molotov. These guys are so coordinated, but Ronin will go down as well, and that's an equal trade. Ink now fighting. Oh my goodness, Prosper almost got a double kill again on the flank. A face-to-face kill there would have been unbelievable. A 2v3 for Arial Rise though now.
Yeah, and Gronky's giving it to the side. He's low on HP, and that's a smart play. He said, we have the man advantage. Let's just play that. We don't need to force anything. I won't try to take this fight. And of course, Ink now chiming in and taking down Story. EMS is there for a trade, but man advantage still going to be going there to Blackhand. But he's trying to force this, and Ink from behind does take him down. What I want to mention there, I think Drew is forcing that Semtex. You have a player running up. I think he's looking the other direction. You could step out and try to gun him down. Instead, you go for a Semtex, you miss it. And at that point, now you're in recovery mode, and they dump utility on you.
Right, so you're saying he should have actually let him come past him, and that would have been great. But what we're going to do now, Heartbreaker, we're going to go for an Arial Rise listening.
You want to try A and I go B?
I'm down. We can all try all going together as well and hacking and aping them. Go try
I
that.
can late flank.
I gave you bum.
I can flank after we plant, type shit.
Sure,
What if you fight with
Yeah,
us?
fight with us and flank after.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like your flashes might be useful to us.
Drew up top.
That's UMS.
He's peeking. Wide
I'm one. He's one.
He's nailing you. You want to hop MS?
Yeah, I can.
I'm hacking you up. Yeah, I'm hacking. Hop.
1. Nice. Can you res me? Can you res someone?
Dima's up here.
I'll res.
Dima's up here, 47. I think they're flanking.
Chill.
Could be my low ground.
No, he's weak. Oh, you didn't res yet. Fine.
Yeah, I told you 2 times.
He's right here on Heady,
He's out on site.
Heady.
We can jump.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 back door. There's 2 back door.
You guys jump right now.
There's 2 back
I don't have a
door.
smoke though.
Don't care.
There's two still
I
back door.
got killed.
You gotta res.
I got ink.
Okay, stay alive, Prosper. You have to stay
You
alive.
have to jump if they push us. Yeah,
Yes,
jump.
Jump.
They're baiting me. They're waiting for me, bro. I promise you.
He jumped.
Are they both there?
No.
I think blue. I think I heard him blue.
Yeah, blue. I'm good. I'm living.
Rising.
He's gonna eat me, just so you know.
No, he's not. He's scared.
I jumped the wall.
Oh! What's up? Oh, what happened?
They play this game? Like, what?
Like, what
They
the
should be
fuck?
fucking ashamed, bro. Like, oh my god.
Oh, look at you hear that? They played this game. They're feeling amped. They're feeling confident. They are definitely getting back to that level of play that we expect of these guys. We are definitely seeing it now. And on the other side, well, you can see right here on your screens, they're not looking too excited.
Yeah, because they've been playing against enemies who absolutely worship them as a team. Oh, Blackhand this, Blackhand that. Think about Arial Rise, guys. You think you're the best at this game so far. Actually, you're 4-2 down, 1 map down. They need to buck up. I want to see a much better Blackhand because we've seen them do unbelievable things this tournament so far, and we're not seeing it now that they have some serious competition.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to step up here. You don't want to go down 2-0 against Arial Rise. That's a lot of chances they have to close things out. You want to go back and forth, if anything. And it looks like this time they played a little heavy. That's going to be Arial Rise in this pistol round over towards that A bomb site. But just like they did, Blackhand leans towards B. They get that bomb down. And here we are yet again in a 4 versus 4 retake. We've been doing that a lot this weekend.
And what's interesting about this retake is actually the defense must have all their utility left. It weren't even there for that plant, but the attacking team did use a few things that they probably could have saved. And Drew, I believe, did use his ability as well, and Ink as well with the fixer roll. So this is going to be interesting. The hack does come off though, and the The defuse push is going to come now, and this is going to be a classic push on long. Gronky, Drew, and Delane are all there. They're fighting 3v3 right now. 2 men go down on the Arial team, and it's 2v3 in this retake.
Yeah, and they made it try to force him off that box, but it doesn't work out. The Syntax goes through. Drew trying to bait it out. Delana being very aggressive, checking the bomb here, trying to take it down on this 2 versus 2. That means nobody's on it. They're both up close, but somebody has to get back and try. But with the way that's planted, I mean, this definitely looks like it's going to be Blackhand, and it is.
Wow, a little more time on the clock there, and that would have been really interesting. I'm loving these, in this match specifically, these 2v2 situations, these 1v1 situations, because players are so good on both sides. You really don't know who's going to win it or what they'll do to win it. It doesn't even matter if the bomb's planted or what position there is. They always find a way of making it work for them, so I'm loving those situations so far.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Even though it's a 4-3 and it's fair Arial Rise, it's actually way more even on Blackhand. It's top-heavy over there for Arial Rise. It's going to be Prosper and Slop who have really been dealing the damage, but we have seen great plays out of both Story and EMAS, not taking anything away from them, and why would you? They're currently winning, you know? I mean, if it doesn't matter if you're at the bottom if you're winning, right? So both teams doing very well, as you said, having to step up, having to make some big plays, and we keep getting down to these 1v1s and 2v2s, and it's going to be Drew who's leading this charge up into this bomb site.
And what's interesting, that's an instant hack from Prosper Logic over there, and I wonder if that's going to be too early. They didn't even go for the push, and all they've taken out is a Sigrid shield, and that's probably halfway back right now.
Well, I think the point is that maybe when you make it early like that, you allow for rotation, right? You buy your team some time, and I think that's what they're going for. And now Delana pushing in, gets caught off guard. He's going to shoot the laser. Ink's there to get that trade, though, and it was a close one. So now we have Drew and Gronky up top trying to make something happen, and now I believe they're getting shot from behind because Prosper yet again on that flank. Big team. Oh, it might buy us some time to get that res, or rather the HP coming back is what I mean, but he falls, and Prosper left a little bit of HP, and again, we're down to a 1v1, and this time, though, it's going to be Drew. Finally, they pick up one of these clutches.
That would have been really interesting if he managed to regen his health. Drew, unbelievable timing there. He wasted no time in pushing Prosper, knowing that he was weak, but really good flank from Prosper Logic there. He rolled out in the open and killed that teammate, that enemy member who was literally watching him flank. It doesn't seem like Blackhand can handle that.
Well, the thing is, he had the Dima there, had the low HP, right? Gronky not in a great position, low HP, fires off the Dima, trying to give himself time for the regen to come in. It starts, but too little, too late. He did, however, get Prosper down to about 10, 15 HP, so it was a great attempt, but ultimately, it doesn't matter because Drew, from above, comes in and capitalizes on the low HP that Prosper has and ends up winning that round to once again get us a tie game at 4-4. GK, well, we've been here before many times at this point between these two teams.
We have, and I don't even know what to think right now because actually, okay, Blackhand have caught back up, but we know how that works for Arial Rise. They've been learning, so they've learned a lot here. I think we just seen someone in the middle there. They need to watch out for that flank, Arial Rise. Drew will go for this bomb plant, I believe, right as we speak. Will he have the shield up? I believe so. The repulse comes out, and he's in the open, and that should have been a finish, and there it is. Prosper gets another early pick, but Juke will go down. Story does need to stay up. The Dima ult was fantastic.
That was really well done, and now it's going to be Delana coming in from behind. Just they're all stuck in that corner. He knew they were going to go for the res, and this leaves it all down to this 2 versus 4, but they're able to grab one. That's going to be Slop, but as quickly as they get that attempt to make it happen, it is shut down, and it is once again Blackhand who go up 5-4.
Right, and now we have a different situation here where Arial Rise are finding that they don't have the answer for this, and they're probably going to have to send more people to the B bomb site to stop that easy plant. But then that means A bomb site is less heavily armed. So Blackhand really have a great advantage here, not just a numerical advantage in the maps and in the round count, but in terms of the mental warfare, they've won the last 3 rounds in a row. They are dominating this half so far. So they are the ones who are getting to choose what's going to happen here rather than the defense making the play.
Yeah, and that was that flank out of Delana was huge because they were getting those reses in that cubby, and he comes around and he shuts it down completely. Thirst the player, hits the nade in there, able to take down the res as well. That was EMAS, and that ultimately shifts it in a big way. So here we are, 5-4, minute 30 left, of course, very early in this round, and Prosper has already made his way all the way up, trying to find out what information he can.
And this is what we talked about. They have to spread out now, and they only have 2 people at the A bomb site whilst the whole of Blackhand is literally standing there. Prosper just got watched running through middle. Do you think he did it on purpose? He was literally running.
No, I don't think he's aware of it. I mean, you can see right here, Delana saw perfectly. Prosper is still running around, and I'm waiting for him to get into that walk. Yep, here it is. Now he's trying to be quiet, but they're ready for it. I mean, Delana called in support. He's not willing to take the chance on the 1v1, and that's going to be both of them here. But he ends up getting a kill with the nade anyway, and now he's flanking around. He drops out of the window. Prosper, you're going absolutely huge right now. And look at this. It is all on to Delana to come up big. They're on all sides of him. They're trying to force the fight, and Prosper, oh my goodness. How does he do that? How does he do that, GK?
I don't know how he does that last bit, okay? I don't have an answer for it, okay? Because that is actually mental. But what I do know, that flank was loud on purpose, Heartbreaker, because he knows they're going to play 2 for him, or at least one person going to be standing there. And because he was running, I know Prosper knows he can't just run on the flank, and he ran the entire way. And I think he knew he was drawing the the attacking side members back, and that's why it was so easy for him to get kills when he was shooting them in the back. But that window jump on Ink, and then Delana was just running in circles for his life at that point.
At that point, he's alone. I mean, he's got no support. If he jumps out the window, he's on their side. They're taking him out. He's got Prosper applying pressure from the backside. That's just tough, but it opens up because he gets the stick on Drew. And I think that's where things shifted, because then there's no more support. Then his teammates can push through from the other side. There's no defense to stop them. They have that numbers advantage. That worked out so well for Arial Rise, and now tied up 5-5.
And we're back at it. It's so ironic for Drew to get stuck there, isn't it? He instead of saying got one, he goes, I got.
Yeah.
You know? The bomb does go down though here for Blackhand, and now Arial Rise have this retake, the 4v4. It's just stalemate. They're so strong on both sides. Who's going to mess up is the question. Who's going to get the good flank? And Prosper's not flanking this time. He's playing with his team, and he has done the glitch ult.
And look at this. Delana's playing so far back because they're expecting it. And that is the smart play, right? As you change things up. EMAS up top. They're trying to stop it. Big Simtax is going to force them right into that right side. Well done. But now they're trying to get aggressive, trying to stop it. But it doesn't matter. That is going to be a defuse coming through.
I mean, it's a ninja defuse, but not even really. The board that is the vision for the attacking team to stop that defuse.
It's still up.
It wasn't even broken. How did that bomb even go down in such a bad position with Gronky on your team? How can he allow such a thing? You can't even see the bomb. They actually jumped on that bomb as soon as the glitch hack went and never had anyone shoot at them. No problem whatsoever. And Arial Rise are now going 6-5 up.
Downs, GK. 19 downs, 2,700 damage. Probably, it's quite possible he could hit 3,000 in this game, and he's changing the way they're playing. That's what I want to touch on. Delana was so far back looking for that flank, and Prosper said, I know I'm in their heads. They're going to be looking for me. I'm just going to be with you guys. We'll just take that advantage, and that's what they do. But can we see that 6-6 tie, or can they close it out just like they did in the last map? That's what we're looking to find out here in this round. They are already pushed up. Blackhand taking a lot of control up top, and now we're going to see that there's a full rotation, but they're all on the backside.
I was looking a bit nervous if a Blackhand. Gronky did EMP his own teammate there, but the bomb does go down, and Drew manages to get in a better position here. The boardwalk still not broken, maybe on purpose. Ink playing up close. Story trying to get Delana a kill, but what a position from Ink there, ultimately getting knocked.
That's a big dagger. Yeah, it's players just falling on both sides. And now they're trying to take down Drew. He's trying to stay alive on site. He's going to be able to get some support. Big nade, and that will see us tied up 6-6. We are going the distance on the second map. Neither team wanting to lose it. Now we see Drew is getting excited, and that's what they need. We even saw a smile on Delana, a little smirk there out of Gronky. That team, they're feeling like they're still in this. They're not down.
It's one of those things, they all know their abilities on both of these teams. They've done it all. They've won so many times. And when you look at the scoreboard, you must be thinking, Prosper's doing it all. Let's just stop Prosper. And that's probably where the confidence is coming from. Drew, really big round from as well, getting that kills. And he's an absorber for U2 as well. So he's doing a lot for his team, even if we can't see it all.
I want to see how they choose to play this one. You know, we've seen some different things coming out, and the fact that Drew with the bomb alone is simply sprinting out middle. They're trying to take a split here onto the site, and it's a good call because 3 players are towards A. It is all on Prosper to stay alive, and he's pushed up, but are they flanking one through middle? That's going to be the question, because then they would get right up behind him. They're trying to go for this plant. He doesn't know what opportunities he'll get, and they're about to peek him together. He goes for the first one, though. Maybe he should have gone for the second. He gets dropped. We have the flank coming in from Delana, and now you have to think this is Blackhand's round to lose, GK.
It is indeed, and now we do see MS trying to do it all. Drew nearly getting that kill on him. If he does, I think the round's over at that point, but it's still going. MS comes back over and does get deleted instead, and it's just going to be up to Slopodopoulos. He doesn't have the sniper in his hand, and I think ultimately Blackhand are going to take that round back. Drew is standing up, and rightfully so. Well done. stopping a huge Prosper Logic game. Well done to Blackhand. Very, very well played.
That last round, I mean, the fact that Drew ends up winning that gunfight again, right? So he goes over the wall, he shoots down at him, realizes there, throws to Simtex, but Emes escapes, gets his regen back, and then Drew still wins that fight. That is a big one. And of course, I have to say, I can't lie. When we got down and it was slop once again, and that clutch situation at 6-6 this time, I thought, maybe, not likely, but we saw him do it once. There's a solid chance he gets it. This time, though, not going to happen, and we do ultimately end up with a 1-1 map count.
I mean, maybe if he had the Rona knife, maybe if he had the nade and was undiscoverable, he could have done it. We can't even put that out of question anymore, but now, Heartbreaker, it's 1-1. I don't think either of us expected this.
No.
And now we're going into sabotage.
That is definitely, I mean, that favors Blackhand. That is the mode where they have really shown that they are dominant. They've started off almost every series basically 1-0 because they're just in the best of threes because it was, hey, we're starting off on Sabo. That is where we are the strongest. Now, if Arial or Rise take even one Sabo, you have to think they are truly back in form and they will be able to do something with this. And that's why I'm so excited for this next one because I think it could dictate what happens. That's going to be the sabotage game.
And what I'm now thinking about is the comps. What rogues are they going to pick? Because that's clearly been the deciding factor here, is throwing the enemies off. We saw on that first map, it was a rejig of rogues. Nobody knew what was going to go on there. And actually, it worked out in Arise's favor. That last map as well, the rogues' choices were so wild. No reses on both teams. Prosper Logic deciding with his team to not have a Dahlia on the map, obviously by banning Saint, they're naturally going to ban Dahlia. So I don't know what to expect in terms of rogues going into this, except for the fact we're probably going to see Scorch.
Yeah, well, I think that's a really safe call at this point. And we did see Lancer get through on Sabo earlier. That's not normal. I don't think it happens in this series. I feel like somebody is definitely taking Lancer out, gonna be banned. They don't want to deal with that, especially with an arbitrator. We know how dangerous that can be. So as we move in to take a look at these maps, it is going to be the tried and true, the Factory.
I didn't want to say I wanted it because I didn't know if we were going to have it, but I'm very happy to see Factory. Both of these teams know all the spots. They know how it works in terms of they've played it before. So actually, even though Arial haven't had that much sabotage practice, they know this map. So if they can get coordinated, I think we're going to have a good series here on our hand. And this map especially, I would love to see it go 2-2 with a couple overtimes, wouldn't you, Heartbreaker?
I would not be mad at seeing that sort of battle. You know, we got one yesterday where they're in overtime, and it went on and on. I mean, minutes extra of overtime. Seeing that between these two teams would be an absolute treat. I mean, you would feel like, what more can you give us out of this event? But there will be more. So hopefully this one still delivers. I'm looking forward to it. I agree. I wanted to see Factory as the first Sabo that we get here. And as we talked about, these picks and bans could get a little spicy. It could be a little different. We've already seen that they're pulling things out that we weren't really expecting, right? I mean, when you see the runway and the fixer, that was a little different. And of course, we had the anvil coming out on that first map of Wanted. It's been very different. So we open up and Blackhand says, you know what, Sigrid, we're not really trying to deal with you. We've harped on it all event long. That's pretty standard for them. Now we find out, is it the Lancer? It normally is.
I think they want the Lancer, because they have MS. So, but ultimately they know that Gronk is going to pick it if they leave it open. So fair enough, they do ban the Lancer, and we've seen this map a lot of times this weekend. We knew these were going to be probably the bans, but now the picks come in. I guess we're going to see Scorch and maybe another Golden Bounce character, maybe a Dahlia, right? And there it is. The Dahlia does come through.
Yeah, no surprises there. I mean, the first team basically as always, if Dahlia is in there, because you get the res and the gold bounce back. And we know that the res, not as important initially, but ends up coming very, very big in that extra time if you get to that point. And a glitch, gold bounce back, also able to help you when you want to push through those choke points. When you need to make that little bit of ground gain, you go ahead, pop that ult, get through without any utility coming your way, and a Scorch in the first round. Who would have thought, right?
Right, and the fixer, of course, with Slopodopoulos on your team, it does make sense. But let's talk about Blackhand's strategy here. It's been unbeatable so far. They pick a glitch, and they probably pick an anvil here as well. Or they stop Arial Rise from getting that anvil.
Nope, you called it. That's it.
There
they
we
pulled
go.
This one out. We saw this earlier, and it was working fantastic. And their opener here in Atlanta, their very first match, they pulled that out, and they did it so well. Now we get to see Arial Rise has seen that, though. They know that they've done this before. Do they have a game plan?
I have thought about it a lot. And the counters for this are really hard. You have to be in position to throw that Molotov to stop the shield. That's the only thing you can really do, or stop the Anvil from getting there because he's so slow. So the Duke could be good with the drones that she has, and the Vi as well, adding another molly. I think that is crucial when you see a glitch Anvil, is to have a Vi Scorch, because they can both hold their Molotovs out as they're getting hacked. But what I want to talk about quickly is the strategy at hand is Blackhand picked glitch, and so you think, do I pick Anvil so that they don't get it? But then I'm going to get glitch hacked every time I put the shield down.
You're picking a useless character.
Right.
Essentially, you're
Do I
picking
give
something.
them the Anvil so that when every time they want to go for the Anvil shield, they're going to glitch hack and inevitably get the shield down? So it's a choice of, do I play Anvil that's countered, or do I try and counter the glitch Anvil? And Arial and Rise have gone for the option of countering the glitch Anvil, and I don't blame them. They've been playing really well, and it's better to play in your own method rather than trying to counter the other person and be at a disadvantage.
Exactly, especially because it's not just that you're playing to counter them, you're playing to counter them with a disadvantage for yourself, right? Because they have your counter, so you counter them with something that they already have countered. So very interesting there, and we can already see we have players in the middle. They're already going for this bomb, and Prosper opens things up, taking down Gronky, and now they need to have a big play, but it's a trade. He touches that Molotov, and it's going to be Prosper now coming in, grabbing that bomb, and they're going to take that and try to make something happen as they work their way around towards the bomb site.
Oh, and Prosper trying to be a little bit too quick there. Should have waited for his teammates, and Slop does come in from the flank here, so they do have so much control. If he gets that kill on Drew, that would have been everything. Now it's back to a reset, I believe, as Ink does run past the bomb just to clear some ground and get some map control.
And we saw there that there was a tag coming in on the glitch, so they were running very slow, but I think they were probably still faster than that Anvil in that situation. Those characters not the quickest on the map, but we see Ink running clear across the map, straight through the middle with that bomb. Gronky's already pushed up, gets tagged up. Yeah, that nade's going to come out, but it doesn't finish him, but they are going to get that ultimately. And now as EMS pushes forward, that bomb still drops on the side. Ink needs to come up big here, or else they're going to be able to take some ground with this one.
Seemed a little bit of afraid there. He didn't even go for the fight and didn't even see him at that point. He tried to get Story instead, who was behind him, actually getting no trades, and Slop kills Ink there.
Yeah, we're seeing a back and forth here. It's not as slow paced. They are basically going from one side of the map to the other relatively quickly. EMS already taking that bomb all the way over towards the van.
Wow.
He's going to drop it. Doesn't want to be revealed. Doesn't want them to know where he's coming from. Not to mention, not exactly the character you want to always have the bomb, but they're getting aggressive here for Blackhand. They're pushing through. They're taking some gunfights, and we can see in the kill feed, they're going in both directions. Both of these teams fighting for their life, and now we're going to have 2 players down for each side, down to 2v2 for at least another couple of seconds.
Right, and Slop trying to get that glitch killed, and he does get it in the end. He almost gets deleted by Drew. Drew is on an absolute roll right here and allowing his team to move forward every time he gets a kill. And
They're
please
planning.
don't.
Oh, so
my
close.
goodness, we didn't see that happening. That was almost a ninja plant right there.
Yeah, that dagger came in, and I was like, that might be a little too far, but they land the shots anyway. It doesn't matter. Slop's still in there, though. Has tossed the bomb off to the side because he doesn't want his position to be given away, right? That could be a big one. Oh, he's only able to drop the down player. Doesn't deal enough, and now it looks like the full recovery from Blackhand has been found, and they're saying, let's just get a reset. Throw that bomb out of the map. Let's get it out of our spot.
They will opt to reset that, like you said, and I don't blame them for doing it. That was a close one. They didn't even have someone on the top head glitch there. They just managed to get that Ronin knife, and if they didn't have that Ronin knife, I don't know how they would have stopped that bomb plant. But well played from Blackhand, and they have reversed the tide so far. MS is the front line of defense.
And normally when we see this, there's a bit more of a battle as they're crossing through middle, but these times they keep getting straight to sandbags, essentially off rip. They wipe players out, they get all the way back over to the other side, and in reverse, it's been the same. They're getting all the way essentially to van. There's no sort of, you know, we talked about it being tiered as you go towards. We're missing a tier right now. It's basically just right there, and then you need to make your next step or two. But these gunfights have just been crucial, and right now, there are 3 players down, and that means that Arial, Arise need to make something happen here. They're tossing the bomb forward. The spawns are coming in, though, for Blackhand, and that means that, again, there's going to be a last line of defense here.
Right, it's like Prosper had a feeling there that he couldn't push up too early. He learned from the last couple pushes himself, but Drew playing really well in stopping that and gets a kill there on Slop, and he's doing great so far. He's playing his role so far, and when his team dies, he's doing a lot to get them back alive and in position.
Yeah, I want to see that battle in middle. We have the flank coming through, but it looks like Arial Rise has all gotten out. I knew that Delano was coming through, and he actually loses that fight. He finally pushes maybe a little too far and ends up getting dropped by Prosper, but because nobody's holding the bomb, it has gone back towards middle. So now we have these major gunfights happening. We see this would be as if they're trying to push the site, but they're not. The bomb's actually down in middle.
And right, and you probably think Blackhand are going to have someone now going towards the bomb to camp at it. Both of them probably going to go have someone camp at the bomb because picking it up is too risky and getting that free kill is so worth it.
we're down to under a minute now. We're going to be reaching extra time in just 50 seconds. Neither team having the bomb. They're looking to get these kills so they can gain more ground. They don't want to just get it and then immediately get dropped, but finally they do pick it up, and it's going to be on to Drew to win a big gunfight because they're coming in from behind. He doesn't get them from either side, and this is a major opportunity as they push in. They just need to make a couple more steps, but that is going to be Ink saying not happening, not right now, but the trade does come in. But Delena from behind, GK, it just keeps going.
Just when you think it's over, Heartbreaker, just when you think they've had a big break, somebody does a massive play again, and it's so hard to predict, it's so hard to get right when we're talking about it because it just keeps changing. And here we go, the bomb is still in front of the bomb site. Drew is down. The final line of defense is down. Drew, he has been stopping it the whole time, but Gronky, Ink, and Delena are still there, and the bomb does reset back to middle. Now we go into overtime.
Yep, there it is. Anybody who dies from this point forward is going to have to wait 15 seconds to get back into the action, and that is enough of a difference that they gain way more ground, and you need to really control what opportunities you take, but it could end right here, right now, because EMS is trying to get it down, but they don't let it happen. Drew peeks in. He's able to get one, able to get two, actually, and now it is all onto Blackhand to continue to make this hold. Now, they've removed 3. This is when they need to move. They take down Prosper, all 4 players down. You need to get this bomb across the map as quickly as possible, because in 1 second, you're getting at least 2 opponents back.
It's so interesting how this works out because Blackhand only had 2 members of their team alive as well, so they actually did a lot. They actually did a 2v4 there, I believe, and that was really poor from Hi-Rez. They had the opportunity right there and then, and Blackhand are now going to reverse that and take their chance at it. Delena falling for the next 15 seconds, though, is unbelievable, and that's going to be a huge crutch against them.
Yeah, but at this point, it's a delay unless Hi-Rez chooses to get aggressive, right? Because they have control of the bomb, so you get that pick. It doesn't matter, but Drew falls as well, and this is where they can try to make something happen, because if they can get a wipe here, they should be able to get all the way back over yet again. EMS tries to get around, not expecting Gronky to be in that corner, gets dropped, but now the pressure is on Ink. Smart play there with the shield, trying to slow it down to give himself the 1v1. Does a lot of damage, but at this point, they're definitely pushing around. Don't need it. The C4 comes in, and now they are having the advantage, because look at this. Everybody is down. They need to be running this bomb, but it keeps going back to middle. They don't get control, and now we already have Drew running it right back.
Right, and Arial are just respawning. They've only just come back into the game, and this could be the match right here, the round right here, finally. It's been about 7 minutes. Drew goes for the plant, but the molly comes out, and ultimately he should die here. He does.
So close. That spot, it's just notorious for getting to that point and not being able to go all the way through. And at this point, it is all onto these players to try to break this hold. They don't want to touch the bomb, I feel like, because they're worried about it staying there. But at this point, they know they can win this. They have the numbers, and they're wrapping right back around. This time, though, we're getting a different approach. They've been going straight through middle each and every time. Finally, they decide, you know what? That's not working. Let's shake things up. But it's also easier to maintain control of the bomb when they have to come through either over the wall or through the doorway. And EMS needs to win that one, and the fact that he loses it to Drew could be a very determining factor as they try to push through here.
Prosper does trade it, though, however, and that's going to be Drew out the game for 15 seconds. The Vibe Poison comes out, and now Ink is going to be the last line of defense. He tries to get the shield out right at the last second, but doesn't manage it, and the last person left alive is Delena.
But he gets a
double kill! Oh, my goodness! Oh my goodness, this is so even, Heartbreaker. This has been about 10 minutes for the first round. Every time a team gets close, one person left, that one person does it all.
No, this has been absolutely insane. Right there, you're thinking, oh, they have 3 players down. They're just 1 up. Oh, never mind. Delena, big dagger out of him coming in as Ronin takes down 2, completely resets it. And we're back to a 4 versus 4. And the bomb is yet again made its way over towards the cylinder. This has been a round, GK. The fact that there's more of this is just insane. But neither team wants to go down 1-0 in this. And we have to say it. We thought Blackhand would be dominant in something like this. Arial are showing, no, we still got it. We're still in this.
Right, and it's because of that nature of knowing each other so well. MS almost gets that kill there. Now, we only have Prosper left to stop this bomb plant, but I don't know if he's going to be doing it. He's in the wrong position.
Well, no, yeah, they're pushed up. He needs to get in there and try to make something happen. They're on the site. I mean, they're simply getting, if he wins this fight, but Prosper tries to run past him. Does he actually get in there?
They stopped the bomb again.
Around. How does this keep happening?
This is never going to end, I believe. 2v4 here now. Arial does have a huge advantage. They need to move forward. There is someone on their left, though. Slop needs to get this kill. They need to get them out the way and move forward. one of the teams needs to do it. It's just way too equal right now.
Yeah, they're going to push through on that, though. I saw as soon as he was swinging over there trying to finish the anvil that there was a player coming in from the spawn that takes him down. And we are here with just, I mean, there's 3 players. This is an opportunity. Delane would have to come up big yet again. He has the dagger. If he does something like this again, this is going to be insane. He lands the first one, needs to win this gunfight. And oh, it's going to be Story who ends up taking it down. And now, if he can just end up getting through Ink, that's an opportunity, but Ink dealing a lot of damage, trying to stop it. He's trying to keep the ball up and alive, but Drew from behind. Oh, and it's slowed down because the bomb's on the far side, and now they have to take it all the way across.
Something's just not right on both teams here. Someone is just camping somewhere you can't find, and that's Drew going down to Slop. Slop is just running around with that Mamba, bursting everybody. Ink's going in 1v1 here, but that's going to go to MS instead, and these fights are so close between them all. He's going to fight another one here. If he gets this kill, that's 3 dead.
Yep, doesn't even need it because there's poison under the feet as well. This is an opportunity. They need to make a big play here. It needs to be Delana yet again, who is actually behind Prosper. He's going to be able to take him down, but now it's going to be Emes who knows where he is, but Delana coming up big, drops 2, still alive at the van. Can he win against Slop? They actually get the trade, and it needs to be Story who wins these, but there's another player from behind. There's going to be Ink jumping around that corner with the bomb, and look, no player comes back for at least 2 more seconds. They will get very close to this, and he has the shield.
If Scorch doesn't have her molly at this point, I think the round is over. That's the only way we're going to stop the bomb here. MS goes down. The Scorch is still up. Does the molly come in?
That is
and
it.
There it is, Heartbreaker. 1-0 after around 13 minutes to Blackhand.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? That was absolutely insane. And when he got in there, he didn't even put the shield down. He was like, I'm not wasting the amount of time it takes to put the shield down. I'm just going to go for this plant. Not even worried about that at this point because I think he had this cover. His teammates let him know they cannot push you. Don't worry about it. We need to finally nail this plant. And they do. 1 round in, we got players with 3,500 damage.
Oh my goodness. 16 downs, 17 downs, 13 downs. Very amazing from them. But Arial Rice 13, 15, 14, 12. It's so equal between these counterparts. I don't know how far we can go. Do you reckon we get to 8,000 damage at this rate?
GK, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if this took longer than all the demo games combined because they are not budging. I mean, for so long, it is insane. And now we're back. The respawn's a little bit quicker. Now when you go down, you're going to be back into the action. No more 15 seconds of waiting. Finally, it looks like somebody wants to grab that bomb. Once they get this kill on the Slop, that's probably what the play is. And you can see all 4 are up. So they're going to be able to get a decent amount of ground unless there can be a big hold to slow them, and that's a good start right there from Story.
Right, but the res does come through, and now that does allow the Slop to come back alive. So that's a great kill, like you said, from Story. It does hold him off, but we are on the tier stage. They have put the bomb in a great position here, but the Vi poisons are putting everyone out of position, and Gronky goes down, Delana goes down, and that's 2 for Story right there.
Ink trying to just make a hold here, but they're just going to have the numbers. They're going to keep pushing this. Coming from all angles, he tries to stand tall. Going to get crushed underneath the foot of those numbers, and now it is just a matter of taking out these players as they try to pour in. We can see right now 3 are already down. Ink finally back into the action, and now Delana joins as well, and they haven't made much ground. So actually, they've been getting kills and not being able to do too much with it, and now the spawns have come back.
Right, and that was almost a flank there on Story, and it does come off from Delana. Delana and Drew are just running around this map rampant. Everywhere they go, they get a kill. Ink does fall to Prosper, though, also getting lots of kills. He does have 150 health as well. That should be helpful in this gunfight against Gronky.
Yeah, he doesn't have that armor, and that's why you can see he's kind of doing a little bit of chip damage, just buying time for the teammate to come through. Well done by him, not forcing the fight, knowing he doesn't have disadvantage. And there are 3 down, which means they're going to get very close, and Emes right behind the box needs to, again, it's all about doing enough for your teammates to show up. Story's there, and now the other 2 have spawned in, and they're going to be going for this rotation. Emes finally peeks up, takes down Ink. They're not getting that plant right here, and this is going to allow them to push out, take control of that bomb, and make a move of their own.
Right, and this is exactly what we saw Drew do on this bomb site. Hide in a position when all of his teammates are dead and get a pick. Get that crucial pick and allow your teammates to respawn behind you. So that seems to be meta on this side of the map, is always have someone in a hidden position so they can't get that bomb down.
Wondering if Emes wants to just repulse them off of this. He has it. It's available. He came up to this wall and just hit it, but he doesn't. He allows for 2 of them to come up. He tries to take the fight, but you just simply can't win those gunfights. There's just too many bullets coming your way at the same time, and now 2 players down for both sides. We're starting to see some more spawn-ins come, but that bomb is once again in a spot where it's not really favoring anybody.
Right, and they just... MS is still on that bomb plant box, and I think they do know it now. Delena going to throw the knife. He misses it. The positioning, he thought he was somewhere else, and that's one down. Now, how can they move this bomb forward? They have to wait for it to reset, I guess, if Ink is not going to touch it. 175 health on Ink there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fight that's difficult to take.
Right.
I mean, you got to take that in numbers, and you need to hit, because he also has a weapon that has a lot of bullets. He's going to be able to keep shooting, and that bomb's still not being reset. It has to be going back to the middle at some point. There it is. It finally goes. I was just thinking this is going to go back to the middle. It's going to give them a little more room to work with, and I'm not sure that play from Gronky trying to get around there. I almost feel like you could have gone back around jump wall and just taken it from the other side. Even if you meet in middle, it's better than losing all your players here, but that's big out of Ink. We were talking about that gun has a lot of bullets. Well, he just put them to use, and they're going to be able to grab that bomb. There are 3 players down. 2 just got respawned, so it's going to take them a little longer to get there, but Drew with another pick, and they have the shield.
MS does get Drew here. The man who was up already, Prosper, does go down, and the shield is it. The Molotov. It's all about the Molotov, and it doesn't come off, and that's going to be 2-0 to Blackhand. And like we spoke about, they're now starting to show what we said. They are very good at sabotage. They know the strategy, and when they had the easier side, per se, to attack on, they got it right?
Yeah.
The other bomb site is just so hard to get the bomb down, but they did that as well. So they've done the hard bomb plant, and the easier one, we saw that was nowhere near overtime for them.
No, not at all. And I mean, you could right there at the end, the pressure was on the entire time, and Delena coming in at 4,800 damage. Drew cracking 5,000 here after 2 rounds. They are popping off. We saw some clutch plays from Delena. I mean, those daggers to keep them in it. But even in that round, we were talking about, oh, there was a really tight round, and you said it wasn't too difficult there. It was kind of worse than even that. Arial was on defense the entire time.
Yeah.
They were constantly right here at this point trying to stop them from taking any more ground, and all it took was just a little bit, and finally Blackhand could put it away, and they're starting this one off on the same foot. They have already dropped 3 players. They have a lot of time to get to that point. It is on to Emes to, again, just slow it down. Buy his team time to get back into this. He needs to hold them for about 1 more second. He gets dropped. They're going to make a lot of ground here. They will need to win this last fight, or else it's going right now.
And Drew does get a flank off and kills Prosper, he kills Story. So that's 4-man down. That's
a 3-0
That's the
GK.
Blackhand we were expecting on Sabotage, right? They've done it all, and I can't help but say, Drew is unbelievable at Sabotage. He's just so good. He literally runs around doing whatever he wants, and his economy must be unbelievable. After that first round, like we said, he had so much damage and so many kills. He must have been able to buy everything, the armor, the golden gun, the flashes, the Semtex, and at that point, you've got Juggernaut Drew on your hands.
Well, let me tell you, Drew has been very open about the fact that he is a little different when it comes to these modes. He levels up his gun first a lot of the time. So people are always like, oh, you're playing these powerful characters, you're playing Glitch, whatever it might be. Why wouldn't you get his perks, right? He has some of the best, and he actually says, I go gold gun first. That's the first thing he goes for. So in the first round, people are like, why is there a gold LMPX on the ground? That's because Drew is using it, and you can see why as he drops so much damage and has so much impact there on the map.
Well, that's a cool meta, right? When people are so equally talented at the game, why not give yourself that advantage with the thing you're using the most, the gun, right? So if you triple upgrade that, you get maybe reduced reticle, increased movement on the gun, and every single minute bit of advantage you have, it counts because these guys are so evenly matched. Every gunfight, you don't know who's going to win. I really like that meta, and I hope everyone else in this competition starts to see that that could be the crucial game changer.
Yeah, and as we come into this next map, it is going to be even more exciting to see, can we get Arial to bounce back? That's what we're going to be looking for, but we're not going into it right now because we tossed into a short break. You don't want to go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to what has been one of the most exciting matches of the tournament thus far, and it's not unexpected, right? We have Arial and we have Blackhand taking each other on for the first time in this event, and man, the demos delivered. The first round of Sabotage delivered. The rest were kind of a blowout for Blackhand.
Yeah, it was interesting, right? We kind of got excited. We saw them do really well. But then it all flipped, and maybe it was a case of one side's easier to plant than the other, and that is how Sabotages work, and that's why they flip, right? So I think that was the case with Sabotage, but I did enjoy what I saw from Arial as a whole, right? They have been getting better and better and better, and actually against this team, Blackhand, it looks like they've been their best.
Oh, without a doubt. This has been the best that Arial has played throughout this event. However, they're going into another Sabo, and now they're down 2-1. So they need to come back in a big way in a game mode that we have to say is definitely favoring the other team, right? Blackhand has looked way better in Sabotage, and going into another round, how do you make it out of this to get to that last demo?
Right, and especially how do you get past Juggernaut Drew? He did, as we can see right now, he did so much. He just keeps going forward, forward, forward. And at one point, I think he inspired Delana because Delana went crazy as well. So he's actually spreading how good he is onto his teammates. And I like that about Blackhand. They draw off each other's energy and they do so well. A couple great kills here from Gronky as well. Every kill matters when it's in sudden death like this.
Absolutely. And something to touch on with this team is the fact that you have some players who maybe shine a little bit more in demo, and then it kind of goes to, okay, we have a Drew for Sabotage. Not that he's not a good player in demo, but it is another level when we reach Sabotage. So the ability to have that depth in terms of who can play what modes and how well can they do in each mode. We saw that out here for all to see right here. It was definitely spotlighted, and the daggers we saw out of Delana, as you mentioned, he came up big, and actually I think maybe even won them that first round, or at least stopped them from giving up too much ground with that double.
No, he did actually, and they could have easily body blocked and gotten that bomb down, but he did have that perfect vantage point, and he did do really well to stop that bomb going down. One thing I want to say about Blackhand and how they did it really well is they have people like Gronky and Ink who are playing characters who aren't getting as much damage, aren't getting much kills, but they're playing their roles.
Yes.
And that's really interesting. It's not all about fragging, it's about playing your roles in Sabotage, which is something we're learning as we're going.
Absolutely. And people are figuring that out, right? We're seeing teams start to be like, oh, actually, it can't just be everybody runs around crazy just trying to frag out. Like, there does need to be kind of like, for instance, EMS. He was kind of the last line of defense a lot of those times. He'd be the final player who'd be up, and he wouldn't push out. He'd say, I know all I need to do is get these pacing. And now we get to see on a map that's a little wider, right? Very different play style, Skyfell.
It is going to be an interesting map, and I do think, off the bat, Blackhand are going to ban the Lancer, but Arial Rise, I'm not sure if they're going to ban the Sigrid here. I don't think it's as good on this map because it's so wide and so many lanes.
And they have the first pick, so they may very well decide, hey,
exactly.
we want to grab that. Do they have experience to know how good Secret is in something like this? Because most of the time it is banned, right? So you might not have gotten to test it very much to see like, oh, okay, this is solid, but no, they banned Scorch.
And I don't blame them for it because Blackhand do love a good Scorch, but maybe they should have banned Drew's glitch because he's gone crazy twice. Once on the factory we just saw, but actually on this map particular, he went crazy yesterday on Skyfall, and I don't know if that was a bad ban from them, but Scorch ultimately, if they don't want to play it, they know Blackhand are going to take it, so we have an equal advantage right now.
But they get the pick first, and they grab the glitch, so it's like, okay, we don't have to ban it, we're going to grab it for ourselves, and that is that first pick. So Arial Arise grabbing the glitch, saying, no, Drew, we're off, and we talked about it, they grabbed the Sigrid as well. So this is looking pretty solid. This is a good start for them. But what does Blackhand counter with?
Right, I think obviously an EMP character is necessary at this point just to get the Sigrid, because at that point it's completely countered. And the only EMP character left is the Dema. So maybe they come in with a second pick Dema. The Ronin is perfect on this map. The Ronin knife, like we saw, it can change the whole tide of a game, and you're never detectable by tracker rounds. But the Fixer is what they're going to pick instead, and I think that's so that Slop cannot pick it on Arial Arise.
Without a doubt. Not to mention, just good. I mean, you slow people down in a game where you're trying to cover distance. That's a massive factor. You can shut down pushes with your smoke. There's a lot. Fixer is somebody that we see in every game mode, basically at all times, because of the power and what he brings to it. I mean, he's actually really well-rounded when you think about all the things he can do on the map. And then the glimpse comes out for Arial Rise. That one, on a map like this where it is wider, I don't dislike that. Sometimes on something like Factory, I'm not a huge fan of it, but on this map, I'm okay with it. And the Dahlia, we have the fast bounce back as well, you can res people, so always a good one.
It's going to be interesting here because from what I'm seeing, it looks like Arial Rise have won this draft so far. Blackhand have to get some crazy picks in, have a strat underway because they've gone for the Ronin, and this is what I was talking about the Fixer. I don't see Fixer as a strong first pick on this game mode, on this map. Maybe if they'd gotten the Dahlia Ronin, that could have been more lethal, the double gold bounce back. But they've opted for the Fixer, and I'm not sure if these two remaining bans are going to be good enough. And as we can see, they've gone for something unorthodox. They've gone for the Dallas because they have the Ronin, so it makes sense to go for some intel and the Duke. So the Dallas. Talk about the Dallas Heartbreaker. What do you think about that?
I'm curious, because when I see it, I go, why Dallas over something else, right? If he had padded still, like that would be, yes, I know exactly why you're doing it. You get a free 1v1, you know where they're at. Getting one snap off of this, you find out where one person is, I'm not so sure. I'm almost thinking, if it wasn't for the stats of speed toughness, that sort of thing, Seeker, you can cover a whole area. You can shoot it straight across mid, but you do have a molly. That's always good. The Scorch is out, so you can think about that. You know, Dallas is solid, but you don't see him too much these days.
I think he made a great point with the Molotov, right? It literally stops a bomb plant going down, so that's probably it. It's the only molly on the map, and the stims are really good. And let's think about it. That team had a lot of kills last game. So if for every kill you get another stat, imagine if Gronky gets 20 kills here. He's revealed 20 enemies at that point. So I can see it being
useful. They can compound. You can just keep getting more and more reveals, which is, of course, that could be a big factor. And it looks like we're going to see Arial Rise actually trying to take aquarium control first. Story, with that shield up, is able to fend off Delana so far, and he's going to be able to take him down as well. That's a lot of kills going the way of Arial Rise to start this off. 3 players down. Ink, all that remains. A lot of damage there on the EMAS. He needs to be able to win this one, and he does, to stay alive and potentially defend this a bit. We already have that bomb making its way all the way to the site. This could be a plant right here. This could be a 1-0 for Arial Rise off the start, and it will be.
I was about to say, Heartbreaker, excuse me if I'm wrong, I saw not 1, not 2, but 3 people go down there. And I was thinking, okay, Ink's getting a kill across the map, but where's the bomb right now? And then the Spectre, we get to see that was free. It wasn't even overtime. It felt like overtime because it took so long to get to that back position to stop that plant. He didn't even need a shield at that point. So very well played from Arial Rise, and that's a complete turnaround from last map.
It looked like Ink's job was to clear out the front so that you could get there easier. Like, he's like, okay, let me make sure that our bomb plant is clear. But then everybody else goes down, and he's like, well, I'm on the other side of the map. What am I supposed to do? Even when he gets it, it just doesn't matter. You can't make it back in time, and that was a quick one out of Arial Rise. I mean, they just ran straight in, but can they do it again? This time, the kills are going the other direction. Drew opens things up onto Slop.
And that is correct. And what's happening here is we're seeing them learn quicker and quicker and quicker from Arial Rise. But this is a flip of the map. So maybe this side of the map is easier to plant, as we do see Blackhand have the advantage initially of this round. But it's not big enough advantage for them to do anything at the moment. It's all equal, all stalemate. Drew will go down to a pistol. Delana and Gronky facing a shield right now.
Oh, and it's tough, too, because he's got support. Slop coming in and helping him out, and able to take down all the players. They win the opening duels, and it just flips completely. And now we see that basically everybody went down at a point except for Ink in the back yet again. And now the spawns are coming in there. They should be able to have a defense here. They do slow it down with the kill coming in on Ink.
Right, as Ink does get traded out there, and MS will get dropped as well, and that's going to be unfortunate for Arial Rise, and the bomb still in that middle area. And this is what Skype was about. You have to cover the left and the right before you can actually get that bomb. Prosper with another huge kill there on Delana, but Drew waiting for his moment, and there it is. There's one. He's definitely gonna get this one as well. And there it is. If Slop hadn't died, he would have died anyway, because Drew is so good with that running knife and ratting like that. Prosper now in trouble as well. So Blackhand on the up and up right here.
Yeah, and then just as Emus was trying to make a little bit of a sneaky play in that second doorway, it's from behind that Ink comes in and takes him down, and now there's been a complete flip. We do have somebody over there towards that Lambo, but you can just escape at this point. You can run it across. If they're spawning over there, well, this is definitely looking good for Blackhand.
Right, and Gronky covering that window position as well. He just keeps holding them back, and now this is going to be ultimately almost impossible. The Fixer and the smoke will have to come out to try and stop this.
And that's exactly what's happening. They're trying to seal him off. He jumps out. He wants to force these spicy glitches coming in, but it's a little too late. He might be able to win this one, and he does. Delana taking down at least 2. Story coming across does finally remove it, and they will stop this plant probably just at the last second. Gronky had some time to work on that, and the bomb has been recovered, but there's still pressure. He needs to come up big here, but Slop takes him down, and now this could be an opportunity for them to just slow it down enough for more people to rotate in, and they might still be able to get this plant.
Wow, Slop really good on this glimpse. We haven't seen him perform on that, use that glimpse yet, but that was incredible. He jumps around the corner, goes invisible, waits for his teammate, and they get another trade. And now he gets another kill, and now he's going to have another 1v1 against Ink as well. Does he? If he gets this, unbelievable.
Oh, that was a stick as well.
That's 4 kills in the space of 30 seconds from Slopodopoulos on a completely different rogue. Bear in mind, he's hardly played Sabotage.
And look as they're pushing through, because they had thrown the bomb off the map right after they wanted that reset. They picked it up, and now they are making their way towards the site. But the defense is there. They need to win this one, and he has the shield out going across. That's a distraction. Slop from behind. They're not done yet. Jumps back up. They've taken out 2 players already. They're pushing through. This is an opportunity. Story's trying to get it down. You have to have some heroics coming out, and that is not going to happen. This should be 2-0. Arial Rise on Skyfell looking strong.
Heartbreaker, did you see what I saw there? I saw Story go on the zipline with the signal shield up, right? He got the support from Slop on that kill, but Story got repulsed backwards. He went flying into the air.
Land zipline
and
again.
then re-grabs the zipline. I've never seen anything like it. All whilst the shield is in the way, and this is a little bit of replay of that. Just before this segment, he was flying, re-grabs it. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Sabotage is playing out so well right now. Arial Rise 2-0 up. Who would have thought it?
I mean, after that 3-0 that Blackhand got, there's no way we're going to see it in the other direction, right? That would be insane, and we would get that 5th map with 1-1 demos, 1-1 sabotages going then to that demo. If we get to that point, it is still yet to be known, and this is going to be a big opening for Blackhand. They had a good one last time, but this one's actually better. They've dropped 3, and they're making a big move across the map, and now they just need to make sure that any rotations coming in to stop this get shut down. That rollout could have been the mess up, though. If Drew would have stayed right there, he could have caught probably one off guard. But look, Ink's already going for this plant. Even if they zip across, it's going to be very, very close.
3, 2, 1.
And they get it. There it is on the board. Blackhand with a fantastic start. Don't give up the 3-0. Not this time. Whew. Can they get the second? Can we tie it up? I mean, there's just so much happening right now and so much on the line for this series.
What's interesting about that round is actually Drew won that for his teammates. He had a lineup with the Ronin knife, and he got that instant knock at the beginning of the round. Delana then pops his fix roll, as he has no trouble doing so, and then gets another kill in the bank, and then they get a third, and suddenly the round is over at that point. They've dominated middle, they got 3 kills, and they have the bomb. So Drew, he opened that round up for his team, and they've won it subsequently. So he is clawing back for his team here.
Well, they're going to need another one here, GK. I mean, there's no way to do it if you don't win this round. I mean, you got to tie things up, and you have to go into that 2v2 and try to get the third, because if you lose this one, it's done. We're going to that map 5, and right now, it is Arial Rise picking up these first kills. A Slop ends up with some, but Delana chimes back in, removes Prosper. Only one player down for each side, but the bomb has been tossed just a little bit further away from that spawn point, and now it looks like Arial Rise will be the ones recovering it.
Right, and Delana's looking to go take that back line up, just in case someone's going to try and flank around the back, but Ink and Gronky are cross-firing and handling themselves. Anyway, MS is now causing that flank on Drew. Will it come off successfully? It does. So now we have MS versus Ink, but MS was weak, but the Golden Bats is going back. So now we have a couple 1v1s across the map. Prosper does take out Delana there as well. So much happening right now, Heartbreaker.
Yeah, and they're tossing the bomb again. That reveal being very evident. You know exactly where you're at. It doesn't seem to matter who you tossed it away, but they've already gained too much information. They're going to be able to take you down. And now we're seeing EMS go back across the Zep. He's picking side to side because he needs to be able to clear this out, get his team just a little bit closer. There are 2 defenders here. It's Drew and Delana, the 2 players that popped off in map number 1. They need to do it again. Story from behind, though. That's going to be interesting. He can take a big chunk of their attention away here. He can be that distraction. He's trying to toss him off the map with that shield. Not going to happen. The battles are just raging on, going in both directions. We're going to see 3 down, and now this could be it. This is the plant coming through, and Arial Rise should be taking this to game 5.
They made a mistake, Heartbreaker. They let Story on that Sigrid, and he just held them at the back. Left, right, stim, bash with the shield. He did so much damage. He did so much efficient work there that his teammates just cleared it up. And one thing I want to say is MS on the Dahlia, he got so much done without dying first. So that's so crazy to see that switch up of Prosper now playing the Fragger role and MS now playing the Res role. They're so versatile as a team, as a crew. It's so cool to see them develop like this.
Well, it's a matter of just, it's a good team that can check their egos. They can literally go, you know, because EMS was the star last time. He was the one doing everything for that squad. Then it comes into this one, and they're going, you know what? Prosper, you've had some great plays. What we've been doing in these first couple of matches hasn't been working out that well. And the fact that they could sit down together and they could say, let's change things up. Why don't you try doing this? And we did still see EMS having some great impact despite not being on, like, you know, a Scores. Of course, it was banned, but, like, he likes to play those rogues that have a lot of fragging power. Well, didn't seem to matter. He still did a good job, and that last little moment was huge. Story with that shield, as we can see, causing so much chaos.
Re-grabbing that zip line as well. I'm never going to get over that. That is a 1 in a million situation. And let's talk about that again. MS and Prosper swapping roles here and just being so malleable at what they want to do. I think they learned from the last game where they banned that Saint that actually Prosper's fragging out today. So why not? I can cover your back. We've been playing this game for so long. I've played so many rogues. You played so many rogues. And that's something that Arial Rise have not shown their hand yet. They haven't shown the ability to just play anything in the book. Unbelievable.
I love any team that just adjusts to what is working. So, right, you see a player popping off, you play into that, right? It's kind of like if you see a player that's maybe not performing as well, adjust your team to figure out what is working best in that moment. It's not time to live in the past. This isn't a history class. It is time to be like, what works right now in the server? You're fragging. Let me put you in a position to do it. You're not doing so hot. What can we do with you to improve that? And we're going to see what they do on this 5th and final map, and it is going to be Windward Demolition.
We've got Windward. This is an absolute OG map. There's just so much that can happen here. It's
one of my favorites.
It's one of mine too, because it's so fair and balanced on both sides, right? And the rogues you see come out of this are kind of unusual. You may see a Seeker, you may see a Talon, because having Intel on such a large map and with the 3-lane system it works off, it's very useful, especially for market pushes, and just knowing who's going to be there, because it's so easy to get one kill in this map and get out. And as soon as you do that, the 3v4 is very difficult.
Yeah, and on a map like this is one where Slop can shine. It's going to be interesting to see what that sniper can do, because we saw what it did on Favelas yesterday when they was able to take some of those matches 1v1 with that sniper, and even more, we saw what it could do on Wanted earlier in this series with that clutch. Now what can it do on Windward, which has a lot of open lanes, right? Wanted only has one side that's kind of just a straight shot. Windward, you got it on almost every side of the map you can post up, and I expect to see him moving around a lot.
I agree, because, and that's a really good point, Heartbreaker. He has to move around a lot because this map is all about timing. You can find yourself getting into a loop, however, where you've missed the snipe and you've missed that opportunity, but if you keep moving, it's going to work out for you. But what we have here is a secret ban on attack, like we talked about, but the Jack. I did not expect that, and I don't even know why they've done that, to be honest with you.
Chalk is a great way, for instance, when you're trying to take that market control, right? If you're rushing or something like that, you beat your chest, you run up, and that's a good way to force some people off. Chalk, in general, a very strong character, but you have to really be like, this is something that will counter what we want to do, or this is what our weakness is, right? If you have a weakness, we're like, we just can't seem to stop when that happens, that makes sense. Otherwise, it is a pretty uncommon ban. You don't see a Chalk ban very often.
Do you know what it might be? Is that they knew that the double res was going to come out here, and maybe they didn't want to allow a triple res because they're not going to pick track themselves. So this is going to be super interesting. Blackhand are so good with the double res. I can't even lie about it. I've not seen a team play better than them with the double res. But Arial Rise, for them, it doesn't really matter. They're playing a fresh start anyway. So that's going to be interesting, right? They're not afraid. They're playing off the cuff. This is the first time they're playing against them on this map, on Demolition, with the double res. So very interesting. A glitch and a scorch comes out. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, to be honest with you.
I'm definitely feeling what I'm seeing. They did lead the fixer in, so now we're going to see that go over towards Blackhand. The other thing I'm curious about is, does that lessen the value of a sniper like Slop? Because they can pick up. If you get an opening pick down middle and they simply leave your line of sight, unless your team can get there quick enough, you can't do anything about that, especially with how fast these reses come through. So you get a knock, and it really doesn't add value unless you take some sort of ground from it. So little iffy on that. That is a good counter to a sniper.
It is a good counter to a sniper, but they may still grab one. They still could.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all if they do. We see the runway right
and there. It is.
No
right,
doubt about
they
it.
do. And I think actually that's fine, because they're going to glitch hack the fixer. They're going to EMP the fixer. So they thought, you know what? Let's get the power rogues. We know they're going to get the fixer, but our power rogues counter your fixer. The only thing they're missing is that Ronin. That Ronin's going to be really, really powerful on this map. I have a feeling. And the Dima. So they've got the triple counter team and a sniper. Very, very weird setup here, Heartbreaker. I can't lie to you.
Oh, this isn't what I expected coming into it. I can tell you that much. And, you know, this is good. Windward with double res, I think, is one of the best maps for it, which is probably why in previous we haven't seen them pull it out. And then they're like, oh, yeah, no, we're doing this because, again, longer fights. That double res, I think, could be the difference maker. I mean, that is very difficult because, like I said, not only is it just you're having to fight the same people over and over and over because they keep getting up, you're also taking a little bit of power away from that sniper.
Right, and they may think they've countered it slightly with the glitch hack and the EMPs to stop the Saint drone, but really and truly, when you have two lifeline characters or helping hand characters running around,
hand-reses are nothing.
It's just so easy, especially this map.
And they stick together, so they don't really need the drone to go that far because most of the time they're right next to each other. So if the drone doesn't work, they'll just take 3 steps to the right and then get them up. So those hand-reses are what I think we're going to see a lot more of. Of course, the Dahlia link comes through pretty regularly.
Right, but let's not forget now, the firepower will be reduced. But Heartbreaker, this is the 5th and final map of this series. Will Blackhand take it? They are the favorites. They are the #1 seed coming into it, but Arial Rise, they're on the come up.
They have forced this Game 5, and that is massive because we thought Sabotage would see them out. One team from this match, GK, they're going to the grand final.
And that advantage, the 2-0 advantage, is going to be crazy. But let's get into it, Heartbreaker. We see Ink lining up his positioning on A. We have 3 people from Blackhand on A and 1 watching the flank. A classic orthodox positioning here. Now, what will Arial Rise do knowing this information?
Yeah, they have 2 in the back. You can see the Scorch and the Runway just defending. They've given up the sight because, of course, you can see it from a lot of positions. They do have 2 players for their side. That's going to be Story as well, pushing up there, and it was just Prosper looking for this opportunity to catch a flank, and he's doing just that.
And that's got to come in quickly. Story gets the kill, and now Prosper can now run, knowing that so much damage is done, but he actually gets picked on the flank, and that is tragic. A 2v2 situation, a 1v1, a Saint versus a Dima. The Saint drone is coming off, and this is what we talked about, Heartbreaker. That res ability is going to be the game changer, and the res won't be able to come off on the other side, and somehow Blackhand come around with that win. I think it was because of that flank kill on Prosper. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, he went for it. We're thinking, oh, this is an opportunity. He's already that far up. They're looking for it. You know, we don't know if it's just a gunfight lost or how that played out, but also, I mean, this res, a 1v1 is a lot easier to think about mentally when you're in this situation. You're just like, oh, this is how this will work. This is how I'll be able to play this out, but we can already see 3 reses on the board, and or rather 1 res. I was looking at assist. I apologize. Drew picking up that with that, but that was a game changer, right? The drone goes off, it gets Gronky back up, and now Story has to worry about that.
Yeah, that wins them the round, and actually not necessarily just that drone. Drew wins them the round on res, 3 kills and one revive. What more can you want from your Saint? So that's a really powerful start from him, and you know what Drew's like when he gets geared up, when he gets happy, and when he gets into it, he's unstoppable. So we'll have to see how this plays out. They do go to A bomb site once again.
Oh, there's that sniper battle. We're looking for Delana peeking down the lane, spots the shoulder of Slop. Slop's there. He's looking for it himself, but knew that one wasn't going to be a huge favor for him. And we can see rotations already coming. They have 3 leaning in the direction of A right now. They're looking to try to take this one. Story moving his way back over towards middle. Emes down the stairs. Slop looking over to the right. They're playing pretty close together. I do like to see that because they want to be able to do something with it. I think he did just barely spot him, and it's going to be a body shot against a headshot. That means Delana walking away with that kill. And again, these all have to be long hand reses on the other side.
Right, and do they go for the push or do they go for the plant? They go for the plant, the molly comes off, and that's going to be too late. But the Semtex does help with that, and that's going to be Ink out of the game. Prosper does go down by Drew, though, and that's going to be him out the game, too. He needs to stay alive at this point. 3v3 retake. This is going to be really, really tough.
Slop jumping across. Emes trying to apply a pressure over there towards the stairs. Now he's getting some assistance. They're actually pushing through a missed shot. He's giving away his position. Delana, but he's going to hit the back one, and that is Gronky very, very low, but it doesn't matter because Story falls as well. Emes trying to make a hero play over the top of the bar. Not going to happen. 2-0 here for Blackhand. They've done a good job at applying that pressure early, forcing Arial Rise into uncomfortable positions, and then capitalize on it, getting that bomb down and just playing it the way that they should.
Right, and just seeing that Blackhand team right there, so emotive. So Drew constantly killing Prosper here, right? That's got to get annoying. You see the Saint watching the flank at one point, so he goes through the middle, and actually the Saint's watching the middle as well. So like you've been talking about, Blackhand very well coordinated. As we can see from the scoreboard as well, they're putting up numbers, and the only one who's not is Gronky. He's playing his role, he's staying alive, and it's all working out for them. This is a balanced map, however, and it's not over till it's over. Any amount of rounds is going to help because it's not attack or defense side, it's strategy based.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it so far.
One of the things you want to think about, though, is normally if you're Arial Rise and you don't have the double res, you want to win those first couple of rounds because once the reses get built up, once they're coming out quicker, once the HP is higher from those reses, that's when you can expect they're going to be more powerful. The fact that you're losing the rounds when that is not the case, that makes it look a little bit worse. But finally, I think it looks like they were heading in the other direction, and then Blackhand said, actually, nah, that's been working. Let's see if we can catch somebody on these rotations, and they just might. Emes has pushed up pretty far.
Right, and he just needs to have trigger control at this point. Story actually slowing them down as well, and that's going to make them forget about checking the angles and checking the locations of someone ratting in a corner. So very well played from Arial Rise so far. They do all have weapons now after losing that pistol round. Let's see if they can get back into this game.
I want to see what Emes can do here, and it looks like that's going to be the first opportunity, and he doesn't get anything. He gets put down, and then in another battle, it's Delana who takes down Prosper, and Arial Rise can't seem to get into this, but Slop finally coming onto the board. He hits that shot, looking for a second elim in this round, but he's not able to do it quite yet. Needs another big clutch, but Gronky close on the corner lands the shots with the LMPX, and that is 3-0 GK. Arial Rise, again, it's still early. It's still a map that can definitely go in either direction. but Arial hasn't really managed to get much going.
Right, and we have seen it before, like you talked about on that first map. We did see them go down 3-0 on Wanted and bring it right back. What a shot from Delena we just seen there. So they do still have the opportunity, but just in knowing how Rogue works, this next round is probably the most important round of the game. If they go 4-0 down, the mountain is hard to climb, and Blackhand will have a few strats just to win 3 rounds of the game, you know? So this is going to be really important for the rest in determining how the rest of this match goes.
And now that we're 3 rounds in, this is where you're going to see Arial go, okay, what adjustments can we make? What can we do that's slightly different? We can see Prosper's already looking like he wants to go for this flank. He's going to be spotting this. He throws the nade out, though, gives away his position. And that could be a little iffy because now they know, oh, he's probably solo on that left side. They're going to force him out of position. Story shows up for support, but at this point, now he's in a tough spot. Why is he taking that fight, forcing that fight? But it's because Prosper was down low and he was thinking he'd get that support, but that's not going to happen either. They're getting decimated in this round, already down to a 2 versus 4, and EMS, well, he's out of here too.
What have I just watched, Heartbreaker? Prosper puts himself in trouble. We did see Drew. Slop is getting 1 kill there. He gets 1, however. We should pay attention real quick because it is Slop and he has done it before. It is a 3v1. They're going to go push him at equal positions, and actually this is going to be Slop down. Let's talk about that last round. Prosper in a cool position. It could have been cool and it would have worked out if he didn't show his position with that Semtex. So he does. It's fine. He goes back. Story there to help him. But Prosper was nowhere to be seen.
Doesn't peek it from behind. That was an opportunity.
He went nowhere to be seen. He went round the corner to go play his own life. And Story ends up losing his life instead. And so does Prosper. So if they just played like a team, this would have been so much better, and that's what this map is about. It's about coordination and playing as a team.
And you said that was a big round. Well, to lose it in that fashion, because you know you have to, in their comms, it's going to be probably Prosper going, oh no, how did, Story, why did you peek? And Story going, why did you peek with me? Like, that was the play, and it really unfolded in a way that was just uncommon. And you can see now, it looks like they're having a little bit of fun on the side of Blackhand, looking around, scoping in on each other. They're cruising through this. Not really any of these rounds have been that close outside of the pistol round. And even then, it was a 2 versus 1 with some great shots coming out. So not looking good. Arial need to get a footing, and they need to get it soon.
Right, Arial, they do, and they have the same setup. Once again, Ink going to the A-bomb site, crouching around. So Blackhand are doing the same sort of setup in the beginning, and then completely changing the play, and that's what's throwing Arial off right now. Ink, the movement was almost unbelievable. Will they get finished? He will. So now, Arial finally have an advantage in a round. They don't need to flank, they don't need to die. All they need to do is stop this bomb plant if they want to have a chance at winning this map.
Oh, that could have been a good Semtex, but it actually shoots it as soon as it leaves the hand. It only deals damage to the thrower there. That's going to be Prosper. But, as you said, finally an advantage. If they lose this is basically wrapping it up. They need to be able to take advantage of the advantage that they finally got. But Delena trying to even the odds here, and they get that finish. So it's 2-3 versus 3. 30 seconds left, no bomb down, and now they're picking them apart. Middle, big flank out of Drew to take down EMS and Story. Now it's all on to Prosper. His top middle, now they have that information. He's not able to take down Drew, forces the fight, does finally manage to get that knock, but at this point, he still needs to take down 2 more. It's a 1 versus 2. Fixer and Dahlia up against Prosper here on that glitch, jumps over, trying to stop them, but they actually get the res up. That's what the cover was for, and Delena knocks him out and sends him into the final round of the half, down 5-0.
Isn't that unbelievable, Heartbreaker? Even when they have a 2v1 situation, they have the advantage. Conky says, just cover me, I'm going to res him real quick. This is cool, the 2v1, but why don't we just get a 3v1 and guarantee it? The Fixer smoke goes out and the ult goes out, and now we need to really listen into Blackhand. Let's have a listen and see what they're thinking.
Back Gronk on you. The only reason.
The only reason. Keep it moving. Do the hardline B again. Same thing. Same exact thing as last round.
Bobby, could minute B? Oh, no.
No. We're going A.
If I shit on Prosper there, that would have been a fucking clip and a half. No one.
Like, I have a fucking mega nade, bro.
So do I, bro.
Like, I'm trying to nuke something.
They naded, flashed, flank. Naded and flash. Double pushing.
Double pushing.
They full flanked. One still close. No, Gronk. Oh my god, Gronk.
Aping. You drone me. Ape this run right, Drew. Right now, ape him.
Where did I get shot from?
Mid, half of one.
Last guy mid. Let's go.
Not fucking losing!
Let's fucking
Good call,
go,
man.
bro. Oh my god, bro. I just... We're shitting on him, bro.
Bro, 1 round, bro. Like... Round.
Well, you can tell they're fired up. I mean, Drew, I'm not losing. And I mean, at this point, I don't think he is either, GK. I'm pretty sure Drew has taken this one with a victory. And it, you know, a little bit, it's unfortunate because it has been such a tight series. It has been so good. And then we're going to get to this last map, and it's going to feel like it was a blowout despite the fact that it was a map 5. It was a grueling series. But this hasn't been close at all. Arial Rise hasn't even spawned in yet.
They haven't. And 6-0. I'd like to say a comeback is on the cards, but I'm going to need to see a bit something from Arial Rise right here. They have not performed at all on this map. They've not been coordinated, and that's what Winwood's all about, is just being as a team and being close enough to help each other. So really cool to see Blackhand's comms there and how amped they are, but will it carry forward into this next round? We'll have to see.
Yeah, we can see they're already trying to be aggressive. Blackhand just feeling that confidence. I mean, just trying to push down middle, just trying to force these fights because they're going, we're winning them all. Why wouldn't we take them? But it has slowed down. They tried that initial aggression, didn't find anything. We're down to about 1 minute and 10 seconds. And it is on to EMS, but he's about to get 2v1. He gets the first one, but the drone's coming out, which means he knows he has pressure against him. Drew pushing forward to trade that kill out. They will get this res, and now Story wants to get another drop. Not going to happen. And the Dima, oh, well, it's out.
It's gone, and it wasn't effective at all. And there goes Prosper again, getting picked off. And it just seems like the flanks won't come in time. And the 3v3, however, as someone else goes down across the map, and now Delana gets another kill on Story, and now he's just emoting on him. He does not care. The disrespect is coming out. The last round is upon them, and they have 3 versus 2. Delana shooting the water. They do not mind at all.
This is it. It's up to Slop and Prosper to try to make something happen. They should get this plant, but there's a player just on the other side who can jump up and make something happen. But Drew being patient, waiting for his teammates to show up, and now is the opportunity to strike. He does a decent amount of damage, but it's Prosper who wins that fight. But there's still a tough hill to climb, but they're dropping on the other side. They're playing together. They want to take this 2v2 together, 3 HP, but they can't force the fight because they don't know if support is there.
Right, Drew giving the comms, though. I believe he called them out that they're going around now. Gronky and Delana versus Prosper and Slop. What a clash of the Titans. Who will win this 2v2?
That's a big Simtex. That's it, and he ends up clutching it up, and they're staying in this one with the first round. Arial Rise, that Simtex was everything.
There might be something about playing attack on this. I don't know. I'm trying to form a storyline here, Heartbreaker. There might be something about being attacking on this Winwood map because that was a 2v3. They planted the bomb, got a kill, survived a fixer roll, and then killed 2 more. 2v3 on Prosper and Slop. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and they're the 2 at the top of their team. I mean, they're also the most experienced players probably in this server in terms of just professional play, high-level play. So them in that situation, there's always that chance. It still came pretty close. It was still down to a 1v1 in the end, but they do take it. They can't say they're getting swept. They got at least 1 round, but they need at least 6 more.
They do, and they can't let a single one slip up on them. And I think they know that with that 2v3, right? But they have to be perfect for the rest of the game out, and they're going to use that glitch hack early. Story's going to try and clear market, but Blackhand are already there, and Story will get sniped by Delana. He is feeling himself.
Yeah, and they're pushing down low, and it's just that 1v1, and Prosper needed to win it against Drew. He's able to, but they're trying to apply pressure from above, but that's going to put them in the line of sight of the other players for Arial Rise who are holding the flank. They keep going back and forth, and at this point, it's going to be on to Delana to make a big play, but it's Slop who picks up several in the end to get that second round. They're still in this, but we said it last round, it is 1 round at a time, because if you give up 1, you're done. You're going to the loser's bracket.
That was almost the biggest clip, again, from the fixer we just saw there. He popped the ult, and he saw 3 heads in front of him, but only 2 bullets, and he hits a body with the first, so he couldn't get it done. And Arial Rise, we're seeing something different from them. Slopodopoulos, he needs help right now.
Desperately, and it looks like in that round he got a little bit. He did get a little bit. The fact that they started off with a pick onto Arial Rise and Blackhand not able to capitalize on that, but you have to think they're still pretty calm. They only need 1. And with a team of their caliber, if they give up round after round after round, I think they start to feel pressure at maybe 4. Right, I think they're still comfortable to give up 2 more. At that point, though, it's, okay, we need to figure something out, and this time something very different. Arial Rise, they go across the zip line, and Drew is able to capitalize on that, but if he tries to force any sort of kill, that is Slop in the back who will be able to pop some shots off on him, and I think we can see that any moment, unless maybe there's a smoke behind. No, it's Slop taking down Gronky. Now he gets dropped as well. The Simtex is coming in to finish that, and now it is down to a 2 versus 3, favoring Arial Rise.
Will they be able to get this fixer revive? I don't think so, and now it's just the Ronin up and at it. P-Story goes down as well, and he's going to get one of these reses if he can. He's trying to go for it, but MS won't allow it, and the Scorch ult is popped, and like you said, we're getting 1 more closer to that 6-4 position, and when it gets to that, That's when it gets scary.
That's when the pressure comes in.
I think they have another buff around here, and the Blackhand are probably going to make a play of it. They're probably going to go aggressive through middle or smoke a lane out and just charge. Because if they get an advantage of a 4v3, I don't see them losing it.
Well, they lost 1-2 rounds ago with
They
that
did.
opening pick, but a little different. Again, a sniper pick far away. What we need is if they do that and they take ground, if they take control of something, if they manage to drop the bomb, that's the kind of advantage they need, and they know that, right? Blackhand, very well versed. They have Gronk on their team. I'm sure he's thinking about every possibility that he possibly can right now of how they can make something happen. I expect to see something unique. I don't think this is going to be a standard round where they're just setting up the same way. They're going to try something a little different. We already have 2 players up there in top mid, it looks like.
Right, and we do see Drew also pushing the lane of B, but that's Slopodopoulos going down to Delena, and that's going to be tragic if it doesn't get revived.
I do think they'll be able to get this off, but we're seeing, look at this switch from Blackhand. They don't have a single player over there to actually defend A. They're all coming from the other side. Finally now, Gronky rotating back over. I think they were trying to figure out if they were going to try to swing, but it's Emes who opens up with that kill on Gronky, and the res came through, so now it's not favoring them, and then we get a trade here. Delena able to hit a shot on the Story, but Story finishes with that last bullet, but the res has come through. Here we are, 3 versus 3, now to a 2 versus 3.
Oh, that was a choke on Slopodopoulos' half there. He throws a Semtex, gives his position away, and he gets absolutely charged down. But the teammate does get revived in the meantime. 3v3, Ronin goes down. No Dahlia Link in play. Will he get back up?
Yes, that's the Saint right next to him. As we said, they stay so close together. Now the bomb is down, which means now they have time working against them. They need to make something happen here. He finally gets his ult back at the last second, which means he's able to fire some shots off onto these guys who have been forced out of that mid-cut position. A lot of damage, but nobody goes down until now. Story able to drop down Delena. Ink with the trade onto Emes, and we're down to a 2 versus 2. Dagger on the corner to force them off, but it doesn't actually go off. Finally, they do take it down. Trying to actually use it, I think, in the other direction. 1v2 bomb ticking.
If somebody could do it, it would be Ink if he had his Ronin knife. But for me, it's over. And then the flash comes in, and that should have been a push, but they're going to keep it cool. They know they need this round, and they can probably think about the next round going forward. So, Heartbreaker, looks like we're going to go to this 6-4 round, and we will. Now, tell me what you're thinking if you're Blackhand.
I still think, like, again, that's a second round that they've had where they got the opening pick with that sniper, but they can't do anything about it. Even though they have both reses, and they know that these hand reses coming in for Arial are going to be long. They're going to take a long time, but they're not able to move forward with it, and that is killing them. If they can get one of those opening picks further up the map where they can capitalize on it, that is going to be the key for them to finally get that 7th round and take this and head to the grand finals.
Right, and I think that pick was actually detrimental to Blackhand in that case because they pushed too far up on the wrong side of the map, and the res obviously comes out, the glitch hack and the flash. So that didn't work out for them, and they played it poorly after they got that huge pick. So they end up flipping the map, and that's not what you want to do when you're on the defense. So well played, Arial. This is now a pinnacle round. Every single round is, but this is it. If Arial lose, they go into losers. If Blackhand win, they go into grands.
All the pressure is on this, and you have to think it is still on Arial, right? They don't have any cushion, but you're definitely going to be feeling more on your shoulders if you are Blackhand because things are not going your way. That 6-0 has been wiped off the board. They've got 4 in a row. You need to make something happen. They have 3 towards middle, 3 ready to pounce from that cut should it be needed. Slot playing very far back here on that left with the sniper. He wants to be able to escape with his life. This is where I'm thinking, what if they push through spawn? What if Arial decide to push through right now?
And this is one of those moments where we can see what things that they can't, and the Demo ult does come, and that's going to help. Do they realize, though, that there's so many players there? There the reveal comes in, so there's going to be 2 characters probably revealed from that. Oh, but it was the Ronin, so it won't work out, and the Dahlia gets a kill from on site. MS goes down, Ink finishes it, and now we have a 3v4 situation with the bomb down. Drew trying to get some damage in here as well. Ink next to him. P-Story holding it down in bar, though.
Oh, Demo, the nade is almost back. There on to Story. If he gets that back and they're in the cut, that is an opening that they can use. It should be coming at any moment, but Gronk loses that gunfight. Prosper coming through, able to come up big. Story from behind, able to take down Inca as well. Brings it down to the 2v2. That bomb is over halfway ticked. Slop sees across the middle, knows now is the time for him to show up and help support in this situation. Has the EMP, gonna get the reveal, and Delena has to hit some big shots, but it's Slop coming back from middle to take him down. Drew left to try to clutch this one up. Does a lot of damage initially, but it's not gonna be enough, and that should be it as the bomb hits that point and takes off.
Unbelievable. They are not giving up, and Prosper making that happen for them, their team. He gets the pick on Gronky on the stairs, makes it 3-3. Ink tries to push him from behind, and Story and him double shoot that player. Suddenly, a 4v3 with the bomb down goes to a 2v3, and that retake looked impossible. Delana on site trying to get a pick on anybody who will peek him, and Story saying, you know what, I'll jump up on this tree because I don't think you've got it. And now we're in a 6-5 position. Slopodopoulos on 14. He asked for help from his team, and he's getting it. But Blackhand still looking really, really good.
Well, so we keep saying they just need one in a more valuable position. Well, they got it that round. It still didn't work. Now, kind of what I want to see, defend the actual site. Defend the site. Put your players in there. No more retake situations. You either die defending it or you win defending it. But it looks like very early on here, all 4 players getting very aggressive for Arial Arise.
I think what you said is happening, actually. Ink and Gronky are so far up. There is definitely a player on site here. They do get off, though, as we can see from the mini-map, and now Arial have pushed that. They've stopped that whole thing of getting on the side. You were right, and they did try it. It just didn't work out for them. And now, hopefully, for Arial, they have someone watching the flank, and that is Prosper Logic.
Well, they have people closer, though, right? Like, they're not playing all the way back this time. Ink is directly underneath. He has the dagger, and he has cover here coming in for Gronky. Previously, they were kind of all the way back in spawn on the back corner by the railing. Now they are defending this a lot better. However, they've given up ground from the cut, and therefore they could get triple push down these stairs. You can see we have 3 players on this side for Arial Arise, and they could simply try to overrun them with numbers.
Right, and the bomb goes down, though. The molly is super effective in stopping Drew from smoking it out, but Delana with a water headshot, and that's... Oh my goodness! Slopodopoulos is going to have to get a res here before that Saint drone reses the fixer, and it does, and that's going to be unfortunate. The glitch is down, the Scorch is down, it's a 2v4 situation, but the Dali will fall as well now. Slopodopoulos, can he do it again?
Can he do it again? And the answer is no. That is going to be it. Your winner's bracket victor is simply going to be Blackhand. And it was a great attempt from Arial Arise. We got a great series throughout the whole thing. We thought the last map, I said it, it's unfortunate this is ending in a blowout. Well, it didn't. They came back. They put up a great fight. Arial Arise can definitely hold their heads high. They're looking good going into that loser's bracket. And I think it's very possible we see a rematch in the grand final. And that's something that nobody wants to miss because this series delivered. But Blackhand, they take it.
They did, and I think we're going to have a run-it-back situation in the grand finals, just from what I've seen Arial Arise play. That unbelievable, outstanding. But one thing to mention, Heartbreaker, Blackhand are happy right now, but I don't think they're as happy as they should be, because Arial Arise, they've just taught Arial Arise how to play the game even more as a team. They went 6-0 on defense and learned how to attack from Blackhand and did the same thing back, 6-5 back. One mistake was made. That's all the mistake they made on attack was just a single one. So actually, now Arial Arise get to go into the loser bracket and get even more practice. I think this grand finals is going to be unbelievable.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. If they make it there, remember, there's still another match they need to make it through. They've been hot and cold throughout the event. So this losers bracket match could be one that we also need to keep an eye on, which means you folks aren't going anywhere. You're not going to miss a single match for the rest of this tournament, but we're going to a quick break.
Welcome back, Rogues. We are here on this beautiful championship Sunday. I'm Wolfie. I've got Captain Etsoka here with me. Etsoka, break down that battle of the Titans that we just witnessed. What did we just see?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't even know, because honestly, it was just a match of upsets from start to finish. Like literally going into Wanted there in game number 1, you're automatically thinking, okay, this is a Blackhand map. We're talking Wanted. They never lose here. And then in a shocking upset, Arial Arise managed to take it. And then towards the last map, Windward, that's an Arial Arise map. That's Slopodopoulos all day. And then out of nowhere, here comes Blackhand being able to take it in a dominating fashion. Even though we did see an amazing comeback coming from Arial Arise, it was Blackhand that came through with the finish.
I was a little shocked that they allowed the Saint and Dahlia to get through. You know, right when it came off at the very beginning, we were all kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be beneficial for them, choosing that chalk pick to ban, and it looks like, quite frankly, it wasn't. It looks like they were able to make that double res work. It's still viable. It's still in the game. It's still something that needs to be shut down.
Well, you see, that's the thing, though. Blackhand runs the double res meta better than anybody in roco. I mean, and not to mention, you're bringing up Drew also on the res character with the Saint. So again, that is another completely different variable that a lot of these teams haven't considered yet, is how good Drew is on the Saint. And not only that, but as Saint, they managed to get so many flank plays with the Mardi Gras Mamba, back-to-back-to-back eliminations, and they really stepped up, not just with the reses, but with the damages and the downs as well.
Another great thing that this team does well is they know when to push as a team. They know when to push as a team. They know when to separate and kind of do their own things. They have, both teams had good flanks on either side of it, and they were able to pinpoint that out, especially towards the end, and really shut it down.
Yeah, that they have. And I got to tell you, today is just such a special day. One, because it is, of course, Championship Sunday here at Rogue Company Championship Series, but it's also my grandmother's birthday. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to Momo at the chat. Thank you for watching. You know I love you, and happy birthday.
Great shout out. Now, speaking back to one of the players, Gronky is the IGL for that team. I think a lot of the incredible plays that we saw came from him. I would like to hear a little bit more from him, so I'm going to throw it to Rome as an interview with Gronky.
Thank you very much, Wolfie. And yes, I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, the IGL himself of Blackhand. First of all, I just got to ask you, you're in the grand finals for the 3rd LAN event in a row. How are you feeling having that map advantage heading into it?
I mean, it feels great. This grand finals around, it's a little different. We got 2 respawns now to worry about, so we don't even have to win another demo, and we think we're pretty good at sabotage.
Oh, for sure. Now, I got to say, that draft was very, very interesting. You guys are known as the best reviving team in Rogue Company historically. So do you feel like they made a mistake giving you guys the double res?
I mean, the thing is, like, they didn't really make a mistake. There's not much you can do. We just played our cards right. We knew what we could ban, and they can't even take a res if we take them both first. So we just, you know, we came prepared.
Good to know. So between the 2 teams that we're about to see in our lower finals, High Caliber and Arial Arise, who do you want to face in that grand final?
I mean, obviously I want them again, but I don't know if they're going to make it to us.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I want to ask you one more thing. Is there anyone that you want to shout out after that match?
I guess everybody at Blackhand. They've been a great org so far, and last event, I'm always happy to play for them.
For sure, for sure. And the final thing that I just want to ask everyone today, what does Rogue Company competitive mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. This is probably like the best LAN I've ever been to. The studio here is amazing. I mean, it's just like a great experience.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, you heard it from the IGL himself. Thank you very much, Gronky. Let's go ahead and send it back to the desk for some more analysis.